want to be correct, but everything else is fine. So, with
What else is
that,
new?
bum, 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 oh, I think we might actually be live right now because we've been trying this out.
Because you pulled
So,
down the
yeah, because I pulled it all
on
down.
the thing.
One more sec. Here, let's do
Hold
this all
open.
proper. We're here. Let's just hit that intro. And we'll be right back.
Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. Hey, what kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?
Like,
Where is this?
okay, there's been the alternate universe lanterns, like the Red Sun lantern or whatever, and like the World War II lantern. Man,
It's
who
here
has?
somewhere.
I'm sure you will. But while you pull that up, hello guys. Now properly, we are back. It is foil variant time. How is everybody doing tonight? I know we've been gone for a couple weeks. It has been insanely hectic over on both of our ends with work, with life, with everything. But we've got a lot to talk about this week. Obviously, we'll be catching up on stuff from the past weeks. We've got Absolute Batman to cover. We've got the I don't even remember if we started talking about Death Spiral before you and I took our little break.
No, we
but
didn't, because I hadn't read
Oh,
that
that's
issue
right.
of Amazing
It
Spider-Man
had
that came
come
out
but
that week.
you hadn't read
Yeah.
it yet. That's right.
Yeah,
So,
I've been trying to catch up on a lot of stuff. I still have a fairly sizable stack, but none of it is stuff we typically talk about. Like outside of
same.
I still have my issues of Fantastic Four to read, but like that's hit and miss as to whether or not we talk about it here on the show.
It's also like just not like it's fine. Are you super enjoying that series? Like,
I enjoyed that first arc.
yeah, me too. Where they
For the
were, like,
most
set
part,
back
but
in
it was kind of
time
just
and-
it was kind of just okay. Like I was like, all right, I'm loving this because it's my boy Humberto Ramos on the art.
who
But
admittedly went crazy on that art, like that
he
that
did.
panel of
He
Reed
absolutely
like
did.
stretching himself into the roots or
Oh,
whatever.
dude, that panel's
That's
insane.
so that was perfect for Ramos. Like that's who you give it to.
But unfortunately, and this is giving me more and more like trepidation for the upcoming relaunch of the Flash book, is Ryan North is kind of just a serviceable writer. Like he's kind of DC's, or that Fantastic Four isn't even DC,
But he
but
will
he's
be, yeah.
not too dissimilar to like a Jed McKay, where sometimes he might have a hit or two in terms of like, oh, that's a good scene right there.
Right,
Like
right.
that was
Oh,
that
yeah.
was well done. Like when you hit, right? But then the rest of it's kind of just this isn't the worst thing I've ever read, but like am I really here because I'm enjoying being here?
Or am I here because like it's the Fantastic Four, it's Ramos,
Yeah.
it's tied into an event, which it was at the start and will be soon with Armageddon again. Like, so I hear that McKay comparison, and I'll give you one slight like here's my take on it. Is you're right in the fact that he's serviceable, but I'd almost give Jed a little bit of credit, right? Like over Ryan. And I haven't read Jed's Moon Knight, which everybody loves. Like that's apparently like the book. I haven't read it yet. Maybe it's on my docket. I have all the trades. Like I'm ready to go, just haven't done it yet. But Jed, at least what Jed does a lot is like he sets, like, how do I put this? He's like Charlie Brown in the football, right? Like he will see like a risk and he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do that. But then at the last second, he self-sabotages himself and like completely farts the bed on the landing, right? I'll go to the Hyperion thing from Avengers, where it was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
Hyperion's angry. He's just going to rush back at Earth. Holy shit, what are we going to do? Oh, we opened a magic portal and that was it. And now he's happy. Like, oh, you almost had something good there. And then you
Yeah.
undercut. Ryan North, on the other hand, I think you and I talked about this before over these past weeks. But he's like very safe. He's like coworker, like office safe storytelling, right? Like you'll
Yeah.
go in and you're like, oh, that wasn't a
He
Fantastic
doesn't-
Four adventure. There's no stakes,
You're-
there's no danger, there's no
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything from North that's like, oh wow, you went way out in left field
Right.
and this is awful. You're probably just gonna mostly get some like very
Yeah.
safe plays, right? You're not he's not your Scott Snyder where he's gonna be like, you know what? That's it. Like, I'm gonna take a big old swing on this, and I'm either gonna knock it into the next county or it's gonna flop hard.
Or yeah,
But at
right?
least I am putting 200% into it, right? And it's true. Sometimes, you know, he takes those swings and it's like that didn't quite land, my man. But then you get Absolute Batman, or
Which
you
is-
get Court of Owls, right?
but then the times we look at Scott Snyder and go like, that didn't land, it's like, what didn't land? KO. You weren't the only writer there, and that wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't the only writer in that event. I'd be hard pressed to believe if KO was a strictly Scott Snyder initiative.
It could not have been, especially with that.
Like,
boss
he does
battle
crazy
one
stuff.
shot.
Yeah, but his crazy stuff still doesn't feel like it's an ad
It feels
for like corporate.
yeah, for anything else. And I think, obviously, guys, I think I mentioned it a second ago, but definitely mentioned it in the description. We will hit that final issue of DC K.O. just to wrap that up, give our thoughts on it, because we hit the rest of it. We might as well hit this jump off point. But before we get, I'll just say, the things you and I have talked about that we liked from that issue very much feel like that was Snyder. And then everything terrible is like, why this?
Yeah.
Right? Like a Joker parademon. That doesn't feel like that feels too stupid for Snyder. Especially after what we're getting in Absolute Bat. Like, there's no way he goes, what's the big twist? Parademon Joker. Yay. Like, that's
It just, yeah, it feels like somebody trying to be Scott Snyder and does not like understanding the point, right? It's like how we talk about Tom King thinking he's Alan Moore, right?
Right.
Where it's like, bro, you're not Alan Moore. You're trying to impersonate what you think Alan Moore is. And I say that as not even liking most of Alan Moore's stuff, but I can understand and value and appreciate some things about what he does, right? And his talent, even if I don't care as much for the characters or stories.
Absolutely.
Those are two separate things. But like, in the same way that Tom King's like, I'm the next Alan Moore because I know exactly how Alan Moore writes and how he thinks, and I'm super big brain, and I'm gonna do this. Like, no, you're not. You're really not. And that's what KO feels like. And those little things like, hey, let's Joker parademon. Like, what, really? I would have, and you'll probably disagree with me on this because I know you're sick of him, but he hasn't been around actually in a while, to be fair, even though he got oversaturated real quick back when he was around. I would have preferred
I think we're on the same page.
The Batman Who Laughs.
Yep. Like, it
because
made the
right
most
now,
sense.
Joker doesn't even line up. Like, we're reading Fractions Batman 2, and Joker's in a freaking tube right now. So
for you,
doing right now?
You and everybody out there. So they've actually, like, a new interview came out. They were talking about it or whatever, because I think we've shown it before. I know we've missed like the last issue of Batman, but Joker now, as we saw last time, is just like a body in a vat. He's almost like the adamantium, like, injection Wolverine, right? Like, he's just can't move. Oh no, better one, Luke in the back to tank. That's way better.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's way better of a comparison.
Luke in the back to tank.
So
absolutely.
That is
spot
where
on.
he is. And what's his name? Fraction recently gave like an interview. And so, for all we know, guys, right? Like, we saw Parademon Joker get blasted away by Lex in the last issue of KO. So he's we don't even know. Like I'll just, spoiler alert, DC K.O. 5 doesn't show Joker. Like, he's just gone. And then
he's not there.
The next time we see him is technically Batman. And Fraction was like, yeah, there's things that happen between the end of KO and here that get him here, and it'll be shown with time. And what there was some digging that was done, and it's like what he was actually referencing is Hush 2. Like, he has to Hush 2 is still going to be in continuity. So we're doing DC K.O, which ended. Now we have to wait God knows how long for Lee and Loeb to finish the next issue of the first half of Hush 2, let alone the last 6 issues. And then we'll know why Joker is in the vat. What happens to Joker between KO and Hush 2 and the vat. Like,
I don't need Joker in Hush at all. He's not part of
we
that.
don't need
So why
Hush
are you
at
calling
all.
it Hush? Yeah, why are you even calling it Hush if you're gonna have Joker in it?
Definitely that. I mean,
Right?
we were talking about it. It's that corporate push. Like you gotta have Joker. It's the big Batman event. Jim Lee's here. Let's have Joker, right? Like, it's really lame, but that's what it is. And dude, it gives me such 3 Jokers vibes. Like, they're not gonna land this. Fraction is doing the best he can. Right?
There's
like,
no way they land this. Yeah,
no,
well, Fraction
absolutely
kind of
not.
got screwed here,
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Between Jeff Loeb and Lee taking 8 years to put out what 12 issues, you know, you may as well join some other comic book groups if that's the pace you're going to be working at. And
Another 2 acronym comic book group would
right, like, come
welcome
on,
you
what
with
are we
like open
what are
arms.
we doing here? What are we actually doing here? Like, that's one of the most infuriating things about like when they do these large scale events and stuff, because you ultimately run the risk of you're going to end up railroading a bunch of your creators, right? Because you're like, oh, well, everybody's got to tie into this event. Really? Like, I've kind of got this good thing going over here, right? Like, do I really need that? I don't think I really need that. Well, we're paying the bills, so you got to do it anyway, right? And then you end up also, if somebody falls behind, like we see with this, all of a sudden the continuity is completely thrown out the window.
It's
Because
just
Hush
gone.
2 started what, middle of last year?
Yeah, I like late. I think like July, August. Like it was. Yeah, it. We should have already been at the very least. So the original plan, as you know, you and I have always laughed about, is 6 issues of Hush, a break, and then like 6 more issues of Hush. Like they're doing like a time skip time thing.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. So like we should have already been in the time skip gap here, where I think that's where Batman 3, like the new volume was coming out with Fraction, and it would have settled in nicely there. Like we would have sort of known at least like, okay, the Joker's not cosmically on Oa or anything. He's just back in Gotham, whatever. It's stupid, but we know and we can connect it easier. But now, God, like who knows what they're going to retcon in the time we get to those issues of Hush, right? Like that's what I mean by, remember 3 Jokers? They had I honestly thought it was a really solid idea to have like, oh,
it was a very solid idea. I thought it was something super intriguing.
Right.
You know, at the end of, what was it, end of Dark Side War, you know, Bat sits in the Mobius chair, right? And he asks the question, who is the Joker? And then the answer is, which one?
Which one?
And I remember being like, I'm sorry, what?
And then like there's another issue before we get into, because they tease it for like those issues. And then because of Jeff Johns' schedule, we get off the rails and we
well, yeah, I mean, because he was running behind on freaking Doomsday Clock for everything.
Oh my God, I forgot about
that.
And
we didn't get 3 Jokers until near the end of Rebirth era.
Right, which is like we should have been there with like New 52, like with the Dark Side War where we were. So
yeah, I've got the hardcover. Still like, beautiful Jason Fabok art.
Also, like the most ridiculous part of the DC compacts is that they're all $10. That's great. That's amazing. You get things like Superman, Batman, Watchmen. You also get that, which is like razor thin. And I'm just like, it's an okay story. The Fabok art is great, but I can't justify like that tiny thing for $10 when I can get the rest of it. But like I love that idea that there's not just one guy who's been, you know, retconned and everything. Like it's 3 different just entities. Like that was really, really cool. And playing into all the Scott Snyder's for Batman #1 is one of the best ones that they put out, right? Like the orange one with like Bats' cape like fluttering out. I think you have it. We're frozen?
Not on my end. Like I see it running on YouTube.
Yeah, everything.
Oh wait, I gotta track it forward. Hold on.
Oh, everything is broadcasting okay on my end. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe refresh.
Yeah, Sub says refresh. Everybody found it back. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
blame the internet gremlins, right?
Well, blame YouTube. It's Google's fault. They're the internet overlords and all of that.
Well,
So
let's see. Like I think that's probably a good interruption for you and me to shut up and probably get back on topic.
and
With
actually
that,
get into comics.
yeah. Well, with that said, so as you guys probably heard, if you joined us at the very top of the show, Andrew and I, before we got started here, we were discussing that awful Lanterns trailer that we just
Oh
got
gosh.
last week, I believe it was, with just it's not Green Lantern. I don't know why they're so embarrassed of the green. It's they
The
said
green
that in an
sounds stupid.
interview.
It's literally
I
part
know,
of
yeah.
the character's name.
If you just
Then why are you using the character?
at the base out there, guys, just recognize this. If you go, a fundamental aspect of this is completely stupid and not just like, oh, it's fun, I get it. It might not just work for the medium. If you're going, that's actually stupid, I don't want to do it. It's not going to be a good project. Like we know that it's going to be just terrible. But with that, we were talking about the fact that for some reason the show is making the Lantern suit like a physical suit. And Andrew brought up, like, have you seen this? People are sharing a panel that, to rebuff all of us who go, it's not a suit, it's a construct, I guess, is technically what it is.
It's literally it's supposed to be made of energy, right?
Right. Like, what the hell is willpower?
It's supposed to be
right?
made of your will. Oh God.
Like,
Speaking
and
of Tom
reminder,
Cole
that's the
retardation.
guy who they said, hey, let's give him the show. No, don't go get, Jeff Johns, who gave us all the awesome War of Light stuff. Don't go even get, Ron Mars, who gave us Kyle. Don't go get
or even Morrison.
I was gonna say even Morrison, like,
because he had that run,
which
it
was,
wasn't
like,
super long, but he had that run with, what was it,
with
Liam Sharp, I think?
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Semi out of continuity. You know how DC goes, like, okay, we'll give you, like, our big creators can kind of do what they want and we'll fit it in later. You know what I mean? It was one of those series. So didn't do that.
They're like, it's Grant Morrison. We'll find out how to make it work, right?
Right? Kind of like they were with Jeff Johns for forever. But instead of any of those guys, they went, let's get the guy who goes, what the hell is willpower? Or the, like, I forget which event it is, but when he, like, I think it might be that Heroes in Crisis, where he, like, puts the ring against his head and he's like, there's a fail safe that says the ring can never, like, harm the user, but watch me, like, I'm so strong. And it's just like, what the hell? But Andrew finally showed, or not finally, but he shared it with me. He's showing it to me. This has to have been,
this was
like, the first
ages
issue?
and ages
Second?
ago, and it's like this only, to my knowledge, happened once. So it's one of those things where you have non-comic book fans who at least know how to use Google, and so they looked up
Green Lantern,
something like
suit.
yeah, and this is the one panel that got pulled up, and of course it's the panel that all of these people that are freaking jerking off Gunn are using, and it's like, I'm sorry, look,
No.
I don't like James Gunn particularly.
You
I
do
don't
not.
like most of his movies. I love the first Guardians.
Right.
I like things about the second and about the third, but I don't love either of them.
Mhm.
And I genuinely really liked Superman.
Yes, exactly.
That's two
Yeah.
movies of his that I actually
For you,
genuinely
yeah.
love for me, right? But I'm also not like, oh, it's made by James Gunn, so I'm gonna just
Like,
automatically hate it, right?
right,
Like, I don't
like-
believe in, like, the stupid fanboy wars, right?
No,
Like, I think the
absolutely not.
Spiderites and the Gun Glazers are equally retarded. And so you have the Gun Glazers, which I don't know if that's a term, but I'm making it a
It
term
is.
if it's
It
not.
is now. From the creators of Wally Bees, you've got Gun Glazers.
Oh man, Wally Bees from such known for such classics as Wally Bees.
And
Great.
what were we talking about?
Right? No, every 15 minutes.
I'm gonna make like a fake, like, remember those old like seen on TV ads, like for, like, the music or whatever, like such hits as, like, Carry On My Wayward Son, Freebird. Yeah, I'm gonna make an ad like that for all the phrases we come up with.
That'd kind of be hilarious, and you could use that as like a periodic, like, YouTube short or reel or something
Right,
like that. There's just clips of us
every so
saying those
often.
stupid
Yup,
things.
Exactly. We're on that link, but
So for the people that, like, are trying
the
to
Gun
defend
Glazers.
this trailer, like, this is the only panel that they can pull up to justify it.
And here's what's crazy about this, as I've highlighted here, is, like, this is the last panel in this whatever issue this is. mind you
Hmm.
guys, as Andrew and I have like brought up regularly, like back in the day, back in this era, the golden age, comics were not as consistent of a like concrete thing. You just
No.
wrote a damn story, right? Like
Hmm.
your main objective was to fill the
Golden and
5 cent
Silver Age
like
comics were
magazine.
just like, yeah, fill the book. That's it. Like we're not tripping about continuity here.
Or even like realism, or like look at all those Batman, Superman, World's Finest covers, right? Like Superman, why are you eating the world? Like that's just
Yeah.
what Silver Age was. So this is clearly like one artist, and I'm gonna guess it's not like Gil Kane or anybody who regularly drew Lantern. They went, I'm gonna put it in the closet. Never
Mhm.
seen that again. This is the type of thing that you would have somebody like Morrison, right? Or a Hickman in some event right now would be like, oh, I don't have my ring, but I have to like sneak onto Oa. I have a cloth one. I had it. I made it way back when I was a rookie. I wore it once to see if I wanted to do like the costumed identity thing. Didn't work out. It's just in my closet now, right? They would take this sort of error and make it a realistic thing, not go, oh, all the suits are supposed to be physical. So I'm bummed because I don't, who, like Tom King at the base of it, and you get rid of it. It's just, and they make fun of Chip. No, man, like Chip, I'm excited to see Chip. I want to see Chip. My headcanon is that Chip is the squirrel that Superman saves from the kaiju in Superman. Like that's my headcanon.
I'm
So
here for it.
it's
I'm kind of
it's
here for it.
it's just such a giant miss, and it is a giant bummer. But Andrew, anything more to say on the terrible, terrible state of Lanterns?
Yeah, get that crap out of my face.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. So
I don't need the depression in my life.
before we get into comics, obviously, the little break gave us, I pulled up a couple comments. That's what got kicked my butt into moving on. So before we get into this week's comics, let's say hello to everybody who is with us already. We have Zero saying, "Huh, seems you're back." Yes, we are, our friend. We have Clone Geek here saying, "Let me guess, the next few issues of Death Spiral are going to kill off Paul," which really doesn't fix anything because the whole MJ stuff, Paul stuff needs to be retconned out. We'll talk about it. I have a very distinct worry with all of this Death Spiral stuff that Paul is going to stick around, and we'll get into it. It's Spider editorial. What are we gonna do about it, right? Like if you
Yeah.
can think of a dumb thing, they'll do something dumber. So
Yeah, if there's a stupid idea, Spider-Man editorial office found a way to make a stupider one.
it's like they're just tapped into the Matrix and getting all of our brain feeds and going like an anti-Santa, right? Like let's give them everything they
Mhm.
don't want and everything that will make them sad. Let's see.
Spider
Subhumans.
editorial office is Krampus. That's
It,
what they
it's
are.
it's it might actually be hell. Like it might be like the portal to hell here on Earth. We got Subhuman here saying those Flash comics I bought are in very good condition. I believe you were
You
talking.
got some of the Wade run.
You got the Wade run. We were talking about that with Brian North a little while ago. Yeah, no, I'm glad you got those. I've been doing a lot of comic hunting lately at like resale stores, and let me just tell you, I've been seeing a lot of those issues that you collected, Subhuman, and obviously I know you have, Andrew. Otherwise, I would be grabbing all of them, right, and be like, dude, I've got them for you. I've got them for you.
I've got the full Terminal Velocity arc signed by Wade.
I forget
Like
it's
each
signed.
individual
That's so
issue.
bonkers. I forget. Do you have any of the other stuff before that from what's his name from
Baron and Messler Lobes.
Yeah, but I was gonna say Messner Loeb. Yeah. Do you have any of that
I
line?
don't have the individual issues here. Those are in storage.
But you have them. I mean, I figured, but you never know. And I will say, I saw in one of my hunts, I saw that damn 0 Hour Superman issue, and I was just like, I know who
Oh, the
got
one that
tricked
I've
into
got?
reading it. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
who got tricked into starting comic books with that one. Punk is here, says, "Hey Spencer, Wolf, and chat. I was watching a couple episodes of Jessica Jones's first season. You haven't watched that, have you?"
I've actually seen the first few episodes of that first season
Yeah, man.
because my ex was actually super into that show, like when it first started airing. and so I watched the first couple of episodes with her.
Dude,
And the acting was good. Kristen Ritter did a great job.
I like here's you know that meme where it's like the tunnel diggers, right? And it's like, so like most people stop gambling or whatever, like right before they strike diamonds and whatever. That's how I feel right here, because though like first season is just one of the Netflix Marvel, like those first seasons, they were hitting gold, home run. They were great. So same thing with Jessica. You are like, if you've only seen the first few, you're right on the cusp of them really getting into that Purple Man stuff and getting comic booky. And like, if you watched that, you would be like, oh, dude, bravo. God. Remember when we liked the comic books? Remember when we liked the source material? It's pretty dang good.
Or at least we were good at pretending.
Oh,
at the very least.
Pretending that, just letting the creators go out and do interviews and be like, we love this stuff, and then cutting it all in editing. That is the way. That's how we built this country. Speaking of, well, not okay, girlfriends, I guess, because you said ex, but we got Mare in the house, who's current and better, and we love her. So might swoon. You absolutely should swoon with that handsome gentleman over there. And yes, I did get a haircut in our time apart because I've got a lot of free time recently, and I was hanging out with, and I just went, all right, I might as well go do this. It's getting ridiculous. But
may as well look like a properly put together member of society.
But like you said when we jumped on, if I look like it, I'm gonna act like it, because everything is running smooth tonight. We had our audio fine. Well,
with the exception of YouTube.
I just forgot about. Well, no, and then I forgot that I accidentally showed us, and then went, oh crap, we got to do.
That was a cold open. That was a cold open.
That was a cold open, right? If you guys enjoyed that, let us know down in the comments. We're trying.
It was a cold open. If you guys like cold opens, check out Room of Requirement, where Mary and I do cold opens on all our videos.
Absolutely. And
see, also, that was you really just set us up.
It's what you and I do. We're so in sync like that. We're the we can drift. We do drift. This is drifting for us, like Pacific Rim drifting for us. Best. So, you know those were physics sets, right? like so cool. We got Nexon in the house. Yes, I'm hoping that's yes that we're back, and not yes to Tom King lanterns. I would. You know what? I'm not going to assume that, because if you're here, I assume you guys at least have a modicum of taste, right? So you guys are all good. And then we finally have Zaid's. What's going? Zaid Comics is here. Always happy to see you. And then Subhuman, as you point out, continuity didn't really get serious until around the late 70s and early 80s. Probably like right before that in the 60s, is like late 60s off of the Batman show is probably where they started getting continuity. That's where we can find the strings like landing, like Superman is dating Lois, Batman has Robin, instead of, Superman's dating whomever and Lana and yada 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 yada. So definitely around there. And that's what people have to remember, is for all that we love this medium and the stories, and they are good works of like literature and art and all that stuff, the medium itself, like the retail medium, is meant to, like, we all got started here just trying to make a buck, right? Like literally, like what do the kids like? A guy in a bat suit. Yeah, let's try that out. And they sold a couple nickel copies, and that paid for their Model T. I don't even know if I have my timelines right, but Andrew,
Model T.
I just assume that's what every car before I was born was, right? So
Sure.
It's like the history of cars is Model T, Kit from Knight Rider, whatever, like the 1990 Toyota Corolla, right? Like that's the history of automobiles in my world.
You know what? Fine, fair enough. I'm okay with the headcanon.
All right, so with all that, before I get even weirder into this weird reality that I'm building up over here, Andrew, let's talk. What do you say we talk some comics?
Let's talk some comics.
Where do you want to start this week, my friend? We've got Spider-Man. We've got.
Let's get KO out of the way.
All right, let's get KO out of the way.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Really? I don't even hear your dog over there. I don't even hear.
It's because I was trying to mute. It's also possible that NVIDIA broadcast is like silencing it out, because it's supposed to silence any sound that isn't directly coming from like right here. But I got a big dog, so he's got a loud
we normally hear him. So I'm like, wow, he's either paying a little bit of the bills, or we've got a better like sound setup going on.
It'd be great if he was.
So guys, before we jump into KO, obviously a lot of you probably would have expected us to cover this week, not you. We'll get to you, Batman. We'll get to you. But the new relaunch of the X-Men line, X-Men United,
Oh
is
God.
here. It finally came out. Here's the thing. It is A, Andrew didn't pick up any copies, but B, it's stupid. We are at what do you call them? The house of like status quo? That is literally
House
where
of
we
status
are here.
quo.
Because after all the Krakoa thing, what we have now is there's like a psychic Krakoa that Emma Frost sets up that all mutants can always access from wherever they are and go train and talk and whatever. And instead of, learning their mistakes and not letting everyone in or whatever, I guess I should zoom in here because there's a lot of the guys here, but there's Vulcan, the third Summers brother, who is like a genocidal warlord. So
I guess we're just letting him in.
we're
So
just
why
doing
not?
Krakoa again
Yeah.
and instead of Hickman at the helm,
All old things become new again.
it
right?
really is that. Like, instead of Hickman at the helm, we have Eve Ewing. So all things become new again, and they become
Oh
worse.
God.
They become
the
absolutely
worst
worse.
possible version of it.
So yeah, that's why we're not covering this one shot, this main book for the week, because it is nothing. It is really bad. Does not give any hope for the general X-Men line. I mean, you and I will probably keep enjoying Uncanny, but
Yeah, for
this
as long
doesn't
as
give any-
that's going.
I know, but this doesn't give me any hope that anything's going to change over there. Aside, like, I don't feel like we're going to get any good Emma stories, or we're going to get.
Because what's the main X-Men book gonna be
I mean, what is it right
after
now?
this?
It
Like who?
is. It's still McKay. He's still doing his thing, and they're finally getting to that 3K group. Remember at the very, very beginning with all of the mystery members?
Oh wow, where like they had the what was it, the QR code?
Yup. And you had to
Um,
scan it, and that's where
debacle.
you discovered there was a villain group, which nobody knew, because why
And
would
we're
you
like
do
what,
that?
almost 30 issues in now or something
Yeah,
like that.
and we finally got back to them, and so we're doing that. But
Yay.
who? Yeah, exactly. Who cares? It's there was a slight. I mean, you and I talked about it. There was a slight interesting point where it was at base of like 3K wants to not kill mutants, but like mash humans and mutants together, and they're gonna lead the new era. That had some meat. But then they revealed that all the villains are like Cassandra Nova and Dark Beast, and they just want to mess with things for the sake of messing with things. Like, okay, go be a villain, whatever. You hate Charles, fine. I'm done here. Like call me when Cyclops has an actual good solo book or appears in an
All right.
event with his and drops it on the table, because that's when it's cool. We got two for you, my friend. Guess whose big anniversary present just got here? I would assume it's
Apparently
you.
mine.
I would
Apparently
assume
mine.
it's you.
I will find out technically second week of April. Because
Oh,
that's when I'll
what?
be
That's
going to
awesome.
visit her.
Very cool. And then Subhuman says, Andrew, do a quick review on Witchblade. Where are we at in Witchblade right now?
So
Let's see. And I'll
funny
try to
story.
pull up
I
something
actually
better than
couldn't tell
this.
you because I haven't been able to catch up on Witchblade. So I am currently, as of this week, 3 issues behind. So I have all
Dang.
I have all of the variant covers already sealed and put in my my image box, but I still need to read 18, the annual, and this week's 19. So
Jeez. We'll get back to you.
I'm behind. Yeah.
We will get back to you on that one.
I'm behind on that. I'm behind on Darkness, so I still have issues 2 and 3 to read of that. And I
still
have
those, yeah.
I still have 2 issues of Sorcerer Supreme, Scarlet Witch that I need to read. So like 2 of these books that I'm behind on are like some of my favorite books currently,
Yeah.
but because we don't really talk about them on the show, I don't prioritize them.
Oh yeah.
Because
same
when
here.
I have limited time, I got to triage.
Yep,
So
same.
the positive side of that is that when I do get to sit down and read them, I'll be able to knock out a larger
couple
chunk.
issues instead of like one
So.
and wait. Definitely. I mean, that's same here. We all have those issues, like those series that interest us and not the other. I don't know. I'm saying it so plural, like with such plurality. It's you and me, but
Mhm.
other people out there, if you were on a show or whatever, you would go, oh yeah, like maybe we don't talk about this series I'm reading, but I like it. Like for me, I've got
Mhm.
The End, right? Like the 2099 series. I
Yeah,
have I'm not really reading it, but I got Black Cat, which I'm just like flipping through every so often, which maybe we'll talk about it in the course of this Venom discussion, but maybe we won't because we've already got a sticky lack of continuity going over there in the editorial office. Yeah, Subhuman says, I read United. Very boring. I give it 10 issues before it's canceled. Dude, I didn't realize it was going to be a series.
How many issues did Exceptional get to before it got canceled?
About like 10. 10,
like
11,
10 or 12,
10, 11,
something like
12.
that?
Yeah, something around there. Which, by the way, they're like the main focus of United, right? Obviously, because it's Eve Ewing's book. So who cares? Like genuinely,
I don't care.
Who cares? But to your point, Subhuman, I read it and it ends with, it's the standard sort of, here's our new era. And then we end with like a teaser of, oh, Cyclops stands against them. And there's the burning X mansion. Like, what could that mean? Tease. I thought it was just a one shot. I had no idea this is supposed to be like, I don't know if it'll even reach 10. Like, this doesn't have any meat on it. This is a setup thing. You don't, it's wild. It's just absolutely wild. I hate that.
X-Men shouldn't be particularly difficult.
It really shouldn't, especially when you have the reins to start a new era, right? Sort of soft reboot everything. It shouldn't be this weird. And it makes me mad that I ended up buying this cover because the book sucks, but like...
That is a pretty cover.
And dude, the color, I don't know if you saw it like in your shop, but that color...
Yeah, my shop did have that one.
It was like, I wasn't planning on it. I think you and I talked about it. We're like, it's cool, but why is it so like just bare pink? And then I saw it and I was like...
It looks really good in that foil.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I gotta get that now. But that is speaking of really bad books, let's, as you said, let's get into the final issue of Where Are You? Wait. Oh, I have to grab it really quick. I thought I had it. So with that, let's vamp real quick, or we can start another book. What do you want to do?
Well, let's see. What are the other books we're doing? We're doing Batman.
But
yeah. DC K.O. when it ends, it really, like, how do I want to put this? It really screams at you that this event was meaningless. Because it's just the part 2 and part 2 should be important, but it's part 2 in this like dark side thing, right?
Yeah.
That DC's currently doing, right? The first being the all-in launch, right?
Stuff. Yeah, the launch,
which he was only there for 5 seconds in that first issue.
He was really just like a vehicle to make that absolute universe.
Yeah. To die, which sets up the absolute universe, and the KO stuff comes out of that. And then like at the end they tease like next we're gonna have absolute crisis, and I'm like, oh, I absolutely don't care. Like, stop calling things crises, please.
That is the big rub of this, guys, is that at the end of this event, I guess at Bear it is an event, we learn that we are just setting up for what they are calling absolute crisis. Right? Like, that's the name, right? Absolute Crisis? Yeah.
Yeah, Absolute Crisis.
And it is, you and I have talked about this throughout this entire series, but this is so meaningless and doesn't need to be here. Even if they, and like with the reveal that this is just to set that up, you did like, what am I trying to say? You didn't need this at all. It adds nothing. In fact, it like detracts from the cool story you could have built. As you and I have talked about all the time, imagine if we got 3 or 4 years down the road and there's a slow buildup from Snyder and Aaron and Thompson and maybe Ewing and Lemire, if they're going to count them all. But I'm going to go with the Trinity. Those are like the main guys for the absolute line. So let them build this overarching, plot for 3 or 4 years. Let it starts seeping over, let that world grow on its own, then you can do this absolute crisis. And that would have made more sense with absolute Batman being way more experienced and Superman and like everybody. But now,
well, then that kind of almost makes absolute their own new version of like what the New 52 did, right? Because Darkseid showed up at the very beginning of New 52, right, in Justice League, and which was like that should never be the Justice League's first villain. I don't know why we were doing that.
Opening villain, it's so You
is
beat God. Okay,
good job.
like,
You blew your load in the first 5 minutes. Congratulations. Would you like a cookie? No, you cannot have one.
like you don't get second dates after that. I don't know how you built a relation, like a 5-year relationship up to Doomsday Clock off of that, right? Like
Yeah.
toxic.
But then they
toxic.
end right with Dark Side War. And so what you could do is kind of do that where you know, just like Dark Side War ended New 52, you have this absolute crisis type of thing. I still think calling it crisis is a mistake. Like, please, can we not
Toxic.
overuse that? Dark Crisis was meaningless. This is Jimmy KO is equally meaningless, if not more so.
At least they didn't name it like Fight Crisis or something, right? Like,
Oh,
or
yeah.
because or what was that? One of the events from like the late 80s, 90s. Do you remember? It's either Final Night or Zero Hour. One of them. It's like they tried to call it a crisis, but like by a subtitle. It was like,
Oh, 0 Hour Crisis in Time.
that's what it was. There we go. That's what it was. And even that, even as a kid, I was like, you guys are just really reaching here, right?
You're
Because
trying to tack onto the branding that Crisis
of Crisis.
brought you with Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Exactly.
Because like that did crazy numbers for
and
them.
that was like revolutionary.
It was the
to
biggest
the
event
idea,
ever.
Yeah, and it was revolutionary to the idea of comics, of, you know, resetting timelines and giant crossovers. Like that was a giant thing. And they, for those who don't know, the original Crisis was done primarily to fix Hawkman's continuity, because Hawkman at that point had gotten completely out of the weed. Like nobody knows what the hell was going on with his 500 versions. Like
No one knew what was going on with
between
Hawkman.
panels, it was like, are you Carter Hall? Are you like Carter Hall? Like it was all over the place. So they did that, reset it, let it go. Once we got to the mid 2000s, with their continuity having, you know, grown again and sort of getting really unruly, and having sort of put the Earth 2 continuities in the past, right? Like the Golden Age stuff. That's where they went, okay, we got to reset this again, and let's try and remind everybody that, like, because honestly, the whole point of Infinite Crisis, I'm really behind, where they're like, everything got too dark. What the hell happened here? Like Alexander Luthor, Superman Earth 2, Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
You guys are killing each other. Wonder Woman is snapping necks. Yeah, we got to change this. And I think, you know, that was the right thing to do. And it was major, and it was a big shift. And then we got Final Crisis, which was not like continuity shifting in its sense, but it was almost like Grant Morrison and co. really put the finality in it, right? Like if you ended the DC story there, it's perfect. Like you're just like, even on that cliffhanger of like Batman's still alive, like right there, goodbye everybody, we'll see you again. I don't think so. Like, boom, that narrative is done there. And then we had a couple like months, maybe a year, and then we hit Flashpoint, which even that wasn't called a crisis. But what I'm getting at is the crises were, they used to carry weight. That trilogy carried weight. You saw a crisis coming. Oh, like the story is going to be super harrowing with a lot of changes. They're going to really play into DC, and more than anything, it's going to be an event for us, right? Like for you.
And then they went
the
and started
dorks.
making it a meta thing where like you have building up. Oh, we have to build up crisis energy. It's like you're actually using the title for the. What are we doing?
Like and that's where we got, you know, Crisis in Time, and everybody went, that didn't really land. You like. And it's bad to be called a crisis, but at least you subtitled it, right? Like you guys kind of knew. Then we got to Dark Crisis, everyone, which was, what is the thesis of that one? It is literally the power, what is it? The power hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change. Like that's what it was. Like, let's make Black Adam super cool. And it didn't
work.
It really didn't work, and nothing lasted from that. And now we're just going into another crisis.
Remember when the Justice League was all dead and all the younger heroes were going to take up the mantle for 5 minutes?
Not like it was a panel, and then
like nobody believed that was going to actually happen and stick.
And here's the thing: is like I would have had more respect for them if they at least tried to hold that for like an issue or two. But it was, we're the new Justice League, and I think it's like Supergirl goes like, absolutely not, no. Which, okay, yes, fair, good Kara, but also
Base
story
Kara.
wise, like yeah, base Kara, but also story wise, comic books. What are we doing here, guys? So that is, it's really worrying that the talents of people like Scott Snyder and you know, Jason Aaron, Thompson, all of them are being sort of corporatized, merchandised really hard, because that's all we get here at the end of this event, right? Like the sell of this event is the first meeting of the absolute universe with the canon universe.
And it's kind of dumb.
It's kind of dumb. It makes no sense. It really gets thrown together. It feels really thrown together. And like, I'm going to say this, and I mean it with like,
Feels very hollow.
It feels really hollow. And I mean, and to that, like, I mean this with zero disrespect, but like, Javi Fernandez doesn't feel like the artist you put on a big event, right? Like, you put a Dan Mora, you put a Fabok, you put a Phil Jimenez and George Perez, you put, you know, take a pick, a Jim Lee even back in the day. Javi Fernandez, he's good and you can get it, but like you can understand what the story is trying to tell. But then we like look at pages like this and it just feels like rough, I think is the right word to tell it. Like rushed. Like, where's the super fine, intricate detail that's sort of supposed to pull us in to make us feel like even you guys were invested in this?
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, it's kind of slapdash and thrown together.
I mean, look at, you know, events where we've had guys like, you know, Hitch or Frank, right?
Right. And
then like, this isn't bad art. Like, there's some cool
it
panels.
Is not bad. He's
it's
not
just,
a bad
it doesn't
artist.
feel like it. This is supposed to be your big event right now. And I wouldn't be mad if he was on another book.
No, absolutely.
But this is a big event that you're charging an extra $1 per issue for.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Like, he's not a bad artist. I just feel like we need, you know, you don't hire, I don't know, let's say like Coldplay to fill in for the Beatles or something, right? Like, it's just
or AC/DC.
Or AC/DC or anybody better than Coldplay, because screw
I mean,
Coldplay.
that's a lot of that's a lot of
it's
bands.
a very wide range out there, but we're going to limit it. Otherwise, it's going to become the you know, foil variant talk crap on them stream, and you and I could go for a while. But yeah, like, this is a pretty good image, but it's still, you get into the details down here and it just feels super like just rough. Not it's not tight. It's like Dodson without his wife almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like, yeah, that doesn't make me feel like I should be super hyped for this or super invested in this.
Terry, you got to have your wife.
Terry's not allowed to go outside of the house without her. And it's not because he's like a womanizer or anything or irresponsible. Just like, if somebody's like, hey, mister, will you draw for me? He's going to be so sad because it's going to be crap compared to what it could be if his wife was
He's got to have Rachel with him.
So as we covered a little bit ago, or we briefly mentioned, as we left off in the last issue of DC K.O., we have Batman is now returned to the field. Joker has been eliminated, and oh no, I think everybody's been eliminated at this point, except for...
At this point, all that's left is
everybody.
Luther.
That's right. At the end of last
issue,
it's
only Luther right now.
We have Luther. He is King Omega. He's ready to, you know, take the energy and remake the universe in his image. And so we get the revelation that this scene we've been seeing for the entirety of the miniseries is actually a small sort of pocket universe.
Yeah, it's like a pocket universe, dimensions in time, like a moment in time
that like keeps cycling. I think that was the implication of it, just to keep them safe. Like, he could. So what happens is that it's a moment stolen out of time by Time Trapper, and I think he only could get like 5 minutes or whatever. So that keeps looping, in the hopes of awakening the heroes to what's going on. And so obviously this ties into Superman, which I hope you guys have been reading, because that is actually the good book. That's where I feel like this event gave us good things, with Superboy Prime and the Time Trapper stuff, like the setup and everything. Great book, go read it. But in the most recent issue of Superman, we learned that Doomsday is not a weapon per se, right? Like, or yes, he was created on Krypton. Yes, he's there to make Superman a better hero, but he wasn't supposed to necessarily kill him over and over again to make that happen. He wasn't supposed to be almost like a mindless Reverse Flash, if you will. We learn that he's just supposed to help him evolve. And I'm not even entirely sure what happens here, Andrew, but I think
what happens is
crisis energy crap.
I honestly, I couldn't tell.
That's the problem.
I think he calls it, isn't it alpha energy? Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
He says, I've seen my share of endings, Kal-El, but I've also seen beginnings, universes being born, and I've channeled that energy to Superman. Alpha energy, which, okay, that's right. That was the only thing that, like, I'm good with Cuz Comics, but at least say, like, name your wacky
Give me
thing.
something, right?
And
what's the gimmick here?
Right, exactly. And that
Let
was on
me call it something.
I forgot, but that's why we have Andrew here. So from there, Time Trapper funnels all of the alpha energy into Superman, and then sacrifices himself and says, like, you got to take the last of the energy, like all of it. So we get, and you know what? I will admit, even though we were just kind of not talking shit, but commenting on Javi Fernandez, a lot of these big like semi splashes that he does in this issue are really, really good. Like, I'll give him that.
They are. Yeah, I'll give him that credit for sure.
Give him a couple years, and I bet we'll be like, damn, where were you when KO was being written, right? Like, this is the one we wanted. So with that, we get Darkseid Doomsday giving all of his rebirths and all of that energy to Superman. So as Lex Luthor is gloating and he's going, ha, I'm finally going to do it, he says, what's left to say? And honestly, it's pretty freaking hard. Superman, having just been revived by Darkseid, he just eliminates like he just burns him out with his heat vision. Which is nuts, just to consider A, him unleashing that much power, and B, it being Superman. But as he gets into, as Batman had reminded him, as everybody's been reminding him in this tournament, you have to play to win. You can't play for everybody to have a fair time. You have to be serious. So he goes, all right, let's be serious. Ding, ding, Bell is here. And we're
not playing against bots here. We're playing comp.
Which is so like, and this is one of those moments where I feel like this was Snyder, because this is cool as hell. Like, giant.
Oh, you got the Omega Superman energy symbol on his head, like the crown there as well.
Which, if you guys notice, which is great, that Omega energy crown, or the Alpha, whatever you call it, is very Jack Kirby styled, who invented all of the new gods and everything. So it's a very good, subtle, like, somebody there knew what they were doing. Obviously Scott Snyder, I think he's the one writing it. So, like, Scott knew what he was doing. With that, we get a very how do I put this? It's a very
convoluted, long sequence of
meta.
It's a lot of cosmic meta, like, mumbo jumbo that's just being said on the panels.
And like, we love Scott Snyder to death here. It feels like he's trying to be Grant Morrison, but I don't think he's failing at it. I think he might be being handicapped by DC, right? Like, make it accessible, make it this. So he has to play within the lines. But to your point, it just gets really convoluted because
it just ends up looking like vomited words on the page.
It really does. We do get, like, really cool imagery of Superman and Darkseid fighting, but it's a lot of like, we're punching with a universe. We're punching through,
like, okay, Gurren Lagann.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna reference. It's like, we're punching through the concept of space. Like, okay, the thing is, like, that is cool, but at a certain point, it's such a big concept that we lose sort of like the concept of it ourselves. We just know, okay, it's big, you're powerful. And there's just a lot of that talk on the page of the realities are clashing, do this, do that, philosophizing, which it's not bad. It's just kind of mid. It's just like Andrew said, convoluted, not a lot there. With that, we get this weird moment, or not weird, but so what Superman does is, it's his turn. He beats Lex, or he beats Darkseid for a moment, and he starts to create, right? He has the Omega energy. He starts creating his perfect universe, and he builds as they explain, like he leaves all the death, all sadness, but you know, he makes it all more in harmony, and he leaves a little bit of his heroism, a little bit of like Superman in everybody to inspire them, bring them forward. I did like this page a lot though. Like, you know me,
That's
like
really cool paneling right there.
this is get Silver Age with me right here.
Yeah,
and
that is
I was like,
super
this
cool
is,
paneling.
and going from like the new 52 Justice League to Crisis to Justice Society to Come On D, like way back in the day. So really, really cool. But they're essentially falling back to the Big Bang, where Superman eventually takes in all that energy, goes full Superman, and just rocks. He starts rocking. I'm not playing anymore. Again, guys, it is cool to see these cosmic like deities fighting. It, as we'll see though, it kind of is just really meaningless because Superman, you know, he creates his universe. He's fighting back. He's winning. Even the Heart is saying like, you can do this. You can fight him back. And he goes, well, I could, but I like games where everybody wins. So I'm tagging everybody in. And so everybody from the tournament is back, which, okay, you get your moment, but like, why take the moment to bring back like Harley Quinn and Green Arrow? Or it's not even
and
Harley,
Lex Luthor.
it's his son, like Lex. Like a lot of people who just don't have anything they can really contribute to this fight, like Batwoman, right? Like, the hell is she gonna do there? What is Cheetah gonna do there? Just
nothing.
So it's just, okay, it feels like this happened because this is what happens in events. You have your big team up moment, and it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel cool. It just is like, okay, it happens. And so
to me, it feels like it's attempting to be in a similar vein to where the hell is it? It's probably over here, isn't it? Of course, it's mine. One of my big Venom omnibuses.
Which I keep looking at, and I hate you. Like, they're so cool.
It kind of reminds me of like near the end of Flash War, right, where Barry and Wally are chasing Zolomon through the time stream, through the Speed Force, and you know, Wally goes, you know, my family runs with me, and so you see like these Speed Force ghosts kind of different members of the Flash family. It's like, oh, the kid was kind of cool, and the Flash family's a Wally thing anyway, so you know, I wasn't mad about that. Or like, you know, in the one Jorge Jimenez piece in, was it Sixth Dimension, that arc for Snyder's Justice League. So when you have Clark barreling towards the World Forger, right?
Yes.
And he you know, he does the whole kind of like Dragon Ball, like the kind of like the Kamehameha that Gohan did against Cell, right? With Goku popping up behind him. But you know, Soups does it, but he's got John, and he's got John Kent as well. You know, Jonathan Kent, his father. You know, he's got Pa Kent there. Like, and that's a cool as hell image. Like, freaking Jorge Jimenez just absolutely kills that.
It's so surprising that that's not like a print. It's not a cover. Like, they've done nothing. Dude, it's not a card.
That
like
would be
card.
A poster for me so fast. It's not even funny.
It is quite possibly like one of the best like pieces of comic book art ever. Like, I would probably go that far.
Yeah, it might. If I had to pick one Superman image to have as a poster on my wall, honestly, that one might be it, because I love the generational imagery that it's playing.
I'm trying to grab it, guys. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
But this just kind of feels like, oh, it's trying to do that, but you know, they're bringing in everybody. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't feel like it has as much meaning here, because we're playing with such crazy cosmic concepts between, you know, Darkseid and Soups fighting with galaxies and universes and things like this. It's like, it just kind of lands a little hollow for me.
And you know, like, we just got done in an event where we had, oh, you can pick your form, right? And we started seeing all these crazy that should have been, if this panel was like, I'm bringing everybody back and I'm letting them like choose their damn forms, that would have been crazy. We could have seen so many cool things, cameos, or just concepts, but instead we just got everybody normal, which is like, okay, we're sure. And then let's see, I want to make sure I don't pull up another dumb browser so that you guys know we're professionals here. But yeah, here is the father son Kameha super Kryptonian. I don't know why it's so small, but yeah, this one. I hate Reddit's browser, but yeah, you guys know it. It's what is it in? It's in Justice
It's
League?
in Justice League. Yeah, it's in Justice League, the
Snyder...
6th dimension arc.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you said that. Duh. I'm just not. I didn't lock it. But yeah, I thought you were going with the Flash War mention. I thought you were going to. Is it Flash War where there's that scene where they're like it's by I think Howard Chaykin or Howard Porter, who we don't really like.
Yeah, it's Howard Porter. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what scene I'm talking about, where he like comes with like everybody, right? Like John Fox and XS and yada yada. That's what I thought you were talking about. Like another just heroes arrive moment, you know, not just splitting hairs at this point, but yeah, one of those.
No, I think the one you're talking about is actually that's Finish Line.
Is it Finish Line?
Yeah, I think that's Finish Line. So that's
you are right. It is Finish Line. That's Williamson.
Yeah, that was Williamson writing, and it was Sandoval on art.
There.
Though frickin' Scott Collins had a few pages, which makes me want to shoot myself between the eyes.
No, that bit is Howard Porter. I remember that because it's a.
Is it really?
I really like that moment as like here's all of the Flash characters you and I like, except it's drawn by Howard Porter. Here I have it. Let me just grab it.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Unfortunately, that is
Howard. You're
Porter.
right. That issue was drawn by Howard Porter.
Which like
that's the final issue in that arc, and it's drawn by Howard Porter.
Look at that.
And freaking randomly Earth 2 New 52's Earth 2 Jay Garrick is in there.
To be fair,
I forgot about that.
I kind of I saw him and I was like, I remember. Like, hey buddy, like I'm glad somebody remembers you exist, right? Like,
we've got freaking Walter West, freaking
all the way over
Dark
there.
Flash.
We've got Mina, we've got Kingdom Come Wally, we've got the freaking Tangent Flash, we have what was it? Commander Cold, I think, right? Like the good cop ones. From
How did I miss this?
Huh?
They have Crackle in here.
Yes, they do. They've got our boy straight from dude. That's where I was like, that's why I love this. It's like, you got Williamson.
How did I miss that Crackle was there? I guess there's so much happening on those last few pages. It's
because of that, and because Crackle's blue, like the background is, and he's all lightning,
he just kind of blends into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, I don't blame you, but yep. They got everybody in this one, and I was like, okay, this rules. Unfortunately, it's Howard Porter, which I didn't realize this until I was doing I make a bunch of Magic the Gathering decks, and I like to make them after themes and things, and I have a new format I came up with to show what my inspirations for each card are. I showed you, I'm working on a Justice League deck, like a Grant Morrison Justice League. That run is Howard Porter on art. And I'm like, what happened? I think like full digital really rotted his brain, because Justice League, that run is really, really good looking. Let's see. I have it right here for comparison. I did a second ago.
And that's JLA, right?
Yeah, like
specifically, that's that JLA.
Yep. With
it is Howard Porter.
Where is
what the
this
crap?
window?
How did I forget that?
Flash. Okay, I gotta close some of these comic windows.
What in the hell?
I know, it's so night and day. Yeah. So there's a really good Superman shot right here. Yeah, like this is all Howard Porter. Not that one. I don't know why it's showing that one on this page. Not Absolute Flash. Not Absolute Flash.
I mean, it looks like it's drawn by two completely different artists.
I know.
Like, because like this one right here. Hold on, I'm gonna send you this one. What the crap? It's not a super high res image, but
no
like,
worries. We can work with it. Yup. Yep,
like
I know
what the
that
hell?
cover. I know that cover very well.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Pull that in, zoom it in.
Oh my gosh, his art used to be
Go
way
to
better.
Full screen. It's crazy. Like this. That's what I mean. Like something happened in his jump to digital that screwed over his, I guess, what do you want to call it? Like artistic capabilities, because that Flash, like his latest stuff, like we were just talking, I don't like when I see him.
Yeah.
When I see his name on something, I go, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing Howard Porter. But then I love the art in this first JLA arc. Like it is definitive JLA.
It's fantastic.
So yeah, you have like, there's that team shot. And then we go back to the page, not you page. We go to, no. Where? There. Like night and day. Here, I'll even go down to Wally so we can see like flashes, right? Like flash, noise, just absolute.
It's loud. It's noisy. Yeah, it's noisy and it's busy.
And you can see like, you can still get the action, the stuff, because he has it in this cover, but he's playing, there's the yellow, and he's really playing with the shadows to make they're in a hallway. And even Superman's got his little trail coming out of the explosion that's still yellow and white. It all works together. And then you get over here, who cares? Like, it's just draw everything, color everything. And the Aquaman 1 of comic books right here. Like, that's what it is. Just like a bunch of CG thrown in your face, and you have to deal with it.
Yikes.
But yeah, so that's obviously what they're going for here, guys, is your standard teams all here. It's just in the most boring way possible, because again, you could have had them all being their coolest, biggest forms, and that would have been fun. Like Connor Hawk or Black Lightning or Cheetah, who we just said, like, why are they there? Yeah. Show us some cool potential future form. Just play with it. But then, yeah, so what we get here is Superman eventually, he goes, okay, I built the universe again, but it's not for me. Like I'm letting it go. And that's how he brought back everybody. And so now the world is back, and the world is, so basically I'm not even on the right comic. Whoops. Back to KO. So yes, with KO, Superman wins. He disappetites his like perfect universe in favor of just restoring the one we had, with like slight changes, which I want to get into in a second. The biggest thing here is that instead of just eliminating Darkseid as he could have, Clark goes, I'm just gonna like beat you back. I'm gonna send you back to the absolute universe. Maybe you can change it. Like, ever the believer in redemption, even though like this is the cosmic representation of evil. Clark, we can have a little, no mercy here. It's I think that's okay. But we just basically end this entire series with status quo. We go, okay, Superman's gonna,
everything goes back to the way it was,
and
just
Superman's
about,
gonna,
except Clark isn't around.
Right, like exactly. Clark is gonna, it's like the end of Secret Wars with the Fantastic Four. We're like, we're gonna take a moment to step out of reality, and we're gonna create the multiverse. We're gonna throw universes out there.
And he says, I'm gonna come back. I'll be back, right?
So
and it's like,
I'll be back.
Okay.
Which, like, I will say, even though that's like the enthusiasm of like, okay, you're going away and you're coming, who cares? At least, like, there's something, a part of me that's like, at least you aren't trying to play us, guys, right? Like, we know,
right? It's at least you're not trying to pull one over on us, right? Like we know you're coming back.
Where is Superman? It's like, we know he's gonna come back. It's fine.
Yeah.
But with that, he restores the universe. We get a tease of some of the series that we're going to be getting with DC Next Level, and just the new states of some continuities. I know Flash and Green Lantern both are about to have, I think Green Lantern's doing Hal and Barry team up, and then Flash is doing Wally and Kyle team up, which might be fun, except it's Ryan North, which like we just came off of. So you mentioned this earlier when we were talking, like, you know, Ryan North is really safe. He's going to be like, you're worried he's going to be way too normal. I think that you're probably right. And that's why they picked him, because look at all the stuff Spurrier was trying, right? Before he burnt out and was like, I can't finish it. Like I can't land it. Super weird, super meta, super, I want to be Grant Morrison, but I don't know what I'm doing. How do you overcorrect from that? You get Ryan North, who's like, nope.
Yeah, that is how you overcorrect from that.
PG adventure, right? Like a Disney sequel, straight to VHS adventure from Ryan North.
That's a great way to put that.
Right? That's all I can think of. So, the other sort of how are you feeling about the like mini Superboy event, the like Reign of the Superboys thing?
I honestly don't know yet.
Me neither.
I'll let you know once we read it. But
right?
Just conceptually, I'm just kind of like, all right, show me something.
Like, yeah, exactly. I don't think it's like a bad concept, but at this point, it's not one that makes me immediately go like, oh yeah, let's get into it. Like, I'm excited for this. It's just show me, prove it to me. Also, Kyle's new suit up there, it's just so bad. I don't know. Stop redesigning Green Lantern suits. Hold on. Yeah, I should zoom in on that one. Like, he had a great suit in the 90s. He had that awesome Ion suit. His V. Ken Marion one is incredible. I don't know what this is. It's really, really bad. MCU lines, hooray! Whatever. We're moving on. We hate all good things in comic book publishing. And so, yeah, we get a small epilogue that's just, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Lois going, hey, it's weird, it's lonely, but we know he's gonna come back. Like, okay, cool. He's Superman, right? Like, okay, fine, nothing really wrong with that. Then we start getting, is this the last page? I forget. No, it's not. But then we get our sort of classic post-event tease, right? Like, this happens in pretty much every event. You get 1 or 2 pages that gives you a little taste of the storylines we're going to launch into. So one of them is that the like Mr. Terrific is studying the Alpha Omega energies at the tournament. He's studying those energies because some of the people in the tournament walked away with extra powers, which okay, fine, but that's literally what we did after Absolute Power. Remember, it's like, I've got to study the people who have.
We've seen this episode.
Exactly. Then we have Booster Gold going, you know what? I'm going to come find you, Big Blue. Like, I'm going to pull you out, which, okay, fine. I'm good with that. There is no blame to be here on Booster, right? Like, I don't need him to mea culpa or anybody to be mad at him, because he literally just... Darkseid, if Darkseid, like, rips himself out of your mouth, you get, like, PTO, right? Like, you're good. You're fine for a little bit. Obviously, we get Superboy Prime, who will be our Superman going forward in the main Superman book, which you and I are super jazzed for. Like, let's go for that.
I'm ready for that.
I'm so excited, but we are also going to go so broke off of all those covers, especially because it's coming out in the same like window as Superman Spider-Man, which
gosh,
is going to be like fucking high. But yeah, so then we have the Legion, who are in the future of Earth Prime, and they're just hiding out from Darkseid and the League. We have something happening with Cyborg that like I genuinely don't care about. Like, activate Heart of Cyborg protocol. What?
Yeah.
Did you steal part of the Omega Heart? Is that what you're saying? Like, I don't care. I'm sorry, Cyborg. Like, if you're not in the Titans, I really don't care.
That's basically it. If you are not part of the Titans, I really don't care about you.
Like, just base rule, like one of the 10 DC commandments. Then we have a good check-in with Lex where I love it, where he's like, Mercy, go get the press. I want them to know what I did. And I'm like, that's classic Lex. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Then this, I'll admit, is probably the only surprise I got off of this, or one of the only surprises. And I say that because they're clearly trying for a lot, but none of it really was. I didn't think we would see the Night Fight universes ever again. Or like, I really thought that was that was kind of surprising. Like a spectacle for the event, and that was it. But now we have like, it still exists somewhere, which just opens up more questions into like, where were you? Where did you go? Where in the multiverse? Grant Morrison's not writing comics anymore, guys. You can't just rely on him to come back. Like
Yeah.
you're on your own here. Then off of that, we get, this is probably the other semi-interesting tease, which is
Yeah.
we go back to Barry, who I believe at this point is still powerless. Yeah.
He's still powerless, at least insofar as we know.
I feel
I'm
like they've
hoping,
hinted at it, but yeah.
I
Okay.
really hope that like a kind of side effect of what we saw in the most recent issue of the Flash, where like we see that kind of flashback to like him getting struck by the lightning, right? When he initially got his powers, that happening kind of like
Oh gosh,
reconnects him,
yeah.
and that, like, honestly, that can be their explanation. I'd be fine with it. Just like it annoys me
That they like.
that they depowered Barry.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's coming from somebody who was annoyed that Wally got thrown under the bus after Flash Rebirth when they brought back Barry,
It's
right?
because
I think you can still make both work, and especially
you can.
you, you just have to have good writers
Well,
working on it.
that's exactly, there's two avenues to this, right? On one hand, you can make this work in the sense of the Flash, because you guys have sort of set up, everybody has their role. Like literally before Barry comes back in Final Crisis, all of those speedsters were active, right, Andrew? Like we had our Max, we had Johnny, we had Jesse. Maybe they weren't the big ones, but Jesse knew she's here to help the Titans if you need like auxiliary help. Johnny knows he's here to guide you if you need it. Same with Max. You have these roles for them. The problem is when DC goes, oh, we want to market Bart. Oh, we want to market Wally. Oh, we want to market Barry as the Flash. And they keep switching up which one they want. One time during New 52, they even thought they'd go with Jay. They do the thing where they try to give him everybody's personality, right? Like they do the CW thing. So you still have at your core, it's Barry, Bart, whatever, but they start taking on a lot of like the other's personality traits. Like Wally will start being very neurotic and nervous. And then, you know, Barry might start being a little more like aggressive and impulsive, like both Wally and Impulse. And it's just, you guys are messing, like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And yet you guys keep
just
trying to reinvent that.
Have writers that know how to lean into those individual characters.
And that's the other part of it.
Barry, Jay, Wally, and Bart are all incredibly different characters. Like they're not even similar.
No, they
completely different
roles.
Personalities.
Different personalities, different roles, different, like you can like to that end, I think the thesis I'm going for, or like the point is that if you're a good writer, even with crappy cards laid out, you can make things like this work. And I point to the Spider family, right? Even though I know you hate all of them, if we just look at them at base, like, you know, you had Miles, who's the like the up and coming sidekick. You had Aranya, who was the unrelated sort of mentor who like Spidey knew about, but she was kind of doing her own thing. She even had her own plot with the cult and everything. You had Jessica Drew being Hydra, Avenger and everything. You have Madam Web, either of the two being Madam Web. You had Ben as a like the secondary Spider-Man. Okay, great. Everybody's got their role. Oh, look, we have Kane Parker, Scarlet Spider. What do we do with him? Do we abandon him? Do we depower him? What? No, we move him to a different city. Okay, so now just Texas has a Spider-Man. And that series, guys, is amazing. That concept is great. It's like, I don't know why they don't do that. They used to do, didn't Bart do that in Fastest Man Alive?
Well, yeah, he moved to California.
That's what I thought. He moves to California, and that's where he gets killed by all the rogues. So
by inertia.
They used
people
to know
don't know
how
who
to
that
do
is
it.
because they don't read Flash comics.
They never know. And to be fair, I don't even know if anybody at DC remembers Inertia exists anymore. You and I might be like, you, me, and Mark Waid might be the last three people who remember Inertia was even a thing. But so back to KO, we end it with Barry. If you guys remember, with him being depowered, he chose to start writing the new history of the DC universe because he has traveled it all and he's seen it all change. So he might as well catalog it. As he returns from New Comic Book Day, which he loves because it also gives him an insight into the multiverse, he realizes somebody has written a chapter 0 on the book and says, you know, you forgot my real story, you left me behind, I did the right thing, and all of you took my world from me, right? So we get our potential threat is now popping up. And that's intriguing to me, depending, right? Like,
it depends on who it is.
Exactly. If it's somebody cool and genuinely like, whoa, where'd you come from? You and I are going to give them their dues. But if it's like, it's Pariah, I'm going to be like, man, like, get out of here. Like, we're done with you.
Go away.
Like, was Dark Crisis not enough of a lesson?
Right.
But then, yeah, we get, because Superman didn't kill Darkseid, Darkseid returns to the Absolute Universe and starts monologuing. Basically, just goes, oh yeah, we all got beaten. None of the Absolute people remember it. And it's fine because we're all going to keep getting more experience, not training per se, but like we're going to keep living, getting our experience for, you know, I have another army coming and it's going to be or hold on. I'm skipping. I forgot this page and I do want to comment on it. So Darkseid's back there. He's going, whatever, I lost, but I have the Absolute Universe. He then reveals that he actually held a DC K.O. on every multiverse planet, which I will say that to me, I was like, that's cool. And that's like proper DC cosmic. Like this feels like it's part of an event at this point. And I was like, that's good. Good on you, Snyder. Good on you. And so he's currently having them all fight, but all of them are like, he knows they're all heading towards anti-life. Like they're not going to be as strong as our universe. So he's like, once the infinite Earths fall, whoops, wrong page. There will be a crisis of absolute proportions. And that's it. So that's where we ended, is nothing happened. We got some aura forming moments that didn't make any sense. Don't even get us started on the rule book again. We will crap our pants. And just nothing, no resolution. Okay, Superman's gone, sure, he's been gone,
he'll be
before.
back. He's been gone before multiple times. Like, you don't get to pull that one over on anybody anymore.
Plus,
right?
As you and I talked about over in Absolute Superman, which we'll probably get into in deeper bits when the next issue comes out, but like Superman over there is starting to feel like our Clark. So even on that sense, like we've still got the character around. So not a real big absence there.
Yeah.
Subhuman says Inertia was a good villain for Bart. I liked what Wally did to him when he returned. Oh yeah, the taking his speed. That's one of our favorite moments. Yeah, it's one of our favorite moments. And yeah, like do something like that, Clark. You don't have to send Darkseid back to his treehouse to have fun. Like you can send him to bed without dinner.
You're grounded in your favorite playhouse, like
with all your toys and all your video games and everything. Right? Like it's just. Oh, well. So
he didn't even take the power cord of the controller.
No, he didn't do anything. You're just sitting up there, right? Like you're letting him be normal. Like this is your like spoiled rich kid like brat in the making. So DC K.O, you ended with like a whimper, and you were a whimper the entire time. I don't know. I really don't have a lot good to say about this event, and it mostly just makes me tired. Like.
It was kind of just exhausting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it didn't feel like it truly meant anything while we were reading it. It doesn't feel like it truly meant anything now that we finished it.
No, it feels like it meant to set up this absolute crisis, which is like, that feels, even if that was what, like, even if you guys teased it, if you'd have given us like a good substantial event and it made sense for it to be there, it wouldn't feel so cash grabby. It wouldn't feel so scummy. And that's what it,
now it just feels like you used a big crossover event
to get us to go buy the next crossover event.
To just set up the next big crossover event. And this is what I mean when I talk about like event fatigue, where it's like, shoot, I'm just yawning talking about it. Right?
I know, I noticed that.
I was like, oh crap, we're still talking about KO. Of course I'm gonna yawn. This event was just, it wasn't it. And I love Snyder's work, right?
Me too.
It just it feels like it was, you just said, cash grabby.
And it's unfortunate because you and I have, you know, DC's been kicking ass lately. And like you said, like this is just, it's not it. And I think that's the best we can say about this event.
This wasn't the business, guys.
Try try. Well, I was gonna say like try again, but then I don't really want Absolute Crisis. Like I don't want you guys to try
Yeah,
again. Like
no.
put it away for a
I don't
little bit.
want anything that resembles a crisis level event right now. Scale it back.
D-
You're gonna have some people be like, "Oh man, like, well, they just dealt with this in the last event. Now this feels kind of small time." You know what? That's fine.
Which
I'm
is
okay with that.
fine. That's fine.
I don't need my characters going Gurren Lagann in their events.
Every
It's a bit
time.
excessive.
Exactly. It makes it not as special. So if you do it again,
That works in Gurren Lagann because it's a one-off series.
and you have them literally throwing universes. If you don't have that visual and you play with this concept, I don't want it.
Mhm.
Like that's the coolest
Yeah.
moment for me is when like the Gurren Lagann's just like whipping
Mhm.
them. It's like,
Yeah, I'm using freaking galaxies as
that's
Rasengans
what it was.
basically
Yeah,
over
exactly. It
here,
was
right? Like,
galaxies and just do. If you're not doing that, if you're just writing that on the page, which they did here, I don't want it. You can keep
yeah.
it. But we clearly had more thoughts to say on KO than we expected. Andrew, where do we want to go now? We have Batman and Spider-Man on deck. We could I mean probably Spider-Man has a lot more to talk about.
I think it does.
I think for let's see, because it's been a while since we've talked Absolute Batman. I think what we can drop for this one is, as soon as I can pull it up, is still a really damn good book. This Poison Ivy arc is really, really crazy. And I just wanted to I'll shout out Snyder, look at KO compared to this. And it is night and day with how good of a writer Snyder is. And specifically, I guess a slight spoiler, we'll obviously talk about this more once another issue comes out, but we learn in this issue, right, that Martha Wayne was a part of the Court of Owls.
Part of the Court of Owls, and
not,
she was a Talon.
And the best Talon, right?
Oh shoot.
Right.
Because now I think back to that issue just in the first arc, right, with the Black Mask gang and all of that, right? Where what was it, the Party Animals or whatever it was, where she and Gordon were trying to run for their lives, and now looking at that scene in hindsight, oh, she could have actually effed them all up.
Yeah, she was putting on we should go back and see if she's doing any of those subtle sort of I was just watching this movie series where that happens where oh no, it's Batman number 6 or whatever, where he's on the date, right? And he's accidentally Batmaning everything. That's what I could see happening out of that. I'd be in for that. But to that point, it's just that is how you do alternate universes, right? You take it, you respect everything, but you put a good remix on it, and it's not just for shock value or for whatever. And so yeah, you're killing it over there, Snyder. Eric Cantante with the guest art on these last 2 issues is just a genuine madman.
Dude, he's so good.
It is some of the best comic art I've seen in a long time. And that's not saying that's not to denigrate all the other art you and I love. It's just this issue and the way he plays at it is just absolutely insane. Where do I have it?
His paneling is great. Just the art itself is great.
The coloring, the flexibility almost to his art, I think is maybe what I'm trying to say here, where it doesn't feel like a Brian Hitch where it's super static. I almost feel like I caught Batman here in the middle of landing and turning his head. And it's that's what I'm talking about. And of course, he went full Contente went full Chainsaw Man, gave him the chainsaws on his arms, and it's also a reference to a very long old internet meme about the Lego orange chainsaws, right? Because everybody was like, you guys remember this thing? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Who would ever have an orange chainsaw? And for a little bit, everybody was like, Batman would, and he was getting fan art with it and everything. So really good issue. We'll check back in on Bruce and everything here because it is getting genuinely nuts over in Gotham. But as you and I are resident, where is this book? Spidey fans, webheads, symbiote shooters. Okay, that one sounded a little dirty. Let's get to Venom. We are finally here. Actually, you and I might be some of the surprisingly some of the few actual shooters for this book, this run, this concept of MJ as Venom, which is
Yeah.
genuinely surprising to me.
It's been so well done. I think too many people are just like pawpawing at it just by the concept of it.
Yeah,
Right. And
they
because we're in modern day society. And so people are just turning the nose up at it um at face value. And that's their prerogative, but this has been a fun book.
I've it's been like
It's been a
consistently,
consistent book.
it's either like our book of the week or like our most fun of the week. Like it's always, we always enjoy our time walking away from it. Even when we go like, why is Madam Mask here? There's still something
All right.
that you and I are like, this is pretty cool. So yeah, before we get into Venom, I guess we'll just recap where we are so far with Death Spiral. We're about, I think Venom is the third issue. So
Yeah, Venom is part 3. Venom 255 is part 3.
part 3. Oh yeah, they had the little, the parts, this I meant to bitch about this to you earlier. Like the part number is so small on all these
Super
covers.
small,
And
yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing? Like which, fine, they'll collect it in trade. There's the internet list, whatever, but like, I don't know. I just find that super, super annoying. So the basis for this event, as Andrew and I have been talking about for a while, is we are finally bringing together all of the post Ebon War Spidey symbiote plot threads. So Spidey is back from space. Venom and MJ are trying to survive while staying under the radar of Doc Ock, Scar, and Madam Mask. Eddie and Carnage are still bonded and still doing the whole go hunt serial killers, because I guess this does deserve a slight bit of explanation in case you haven't been rocking with us this whole way, because I just realized it's been a while since that series ended, unfortunately. At current, after Ebon War, Venom War, Carnage and Eddie were so brutally like left, they were both half dead after being hit by Dylan, like future old man Dylan's like special anti-symbiote magic thing that he went and developed. And with that, both of them are dying. They say, okay, to survive, let's bond. In doing so, obviously Carnage wants to go kill and just get blood, but Eddie goes, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a killer. However, he needs to kill to survive. It's sort of like a nutrient thing for Carnage. So they come to a compromise. We'll go get serial killers. That's who we're going to go kill. Carnage, however, goes, okay, but I'm just going to rock with you until we find a better host for me, until I can find somebody who's like not a vagina, who will let me like kill things. It's basically what he wants to say like half the time. It's pretty damn good.
It kind of is.
So
damn.
I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
the disrespect,
no.
exactly.
Now I can hear Carnage basically saying that.
Like you're a vagina. Of course, it's great. So
you mewling Quim.
Yes. And so off of that, so Eddie is back in New York. He's trying to track a serial killer who has just been leaving a large swath of bodies across America. And so he learns that, or Carnage, he learns that, if you guys remember from the end of the Eddie Brock Carnage series, Carnage now knows who Peter is. Through that, Eddie sort of puts it together that, oh, I got to go check on like Dylan. I got to make sure he's okay, because I think there's some connection targeting us all here. This is, if you guys remember, this will be the first time they've seen each other since Eddie abandoned Dylan, technically, like as far as Dylan knows, after Ebon War, because he went, I'm not good for the kid. He needs to go be safe. I'm going to go deal with Carnage on my own. I was surprised to see Paul just in anybody else's art style, because I feel like nobody wants to use, like rightfully so, nobody wants to use him. I'll say I like this moment again where Eddie shows up, says, I got to talk to you. Dylan socks him, tells him, get out of here. I don't want you here. Paul comes up and does rightfully the stepdad, like father figure thing, where he's like, look, kid said go, or like, what, like he doesn't say he's going to do anything, but it's that just chest puffing. We all know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you listen to him once, Eddie? Hit the road. Eddie goes, you know what? Like, great. Like, oh, Paul's here. Wonderful. And then he just goes like, you know what? This doesn't concern you. And like, he goes like, yeah, like, I appreciate you taking care of him, but he's still my son. And Dylan even goes like, you're not helping. Let me talk to him. And unlike the Paul we would have seen pre-Ewing, he's not like,
Mhm.
no, I gotta be here. Like, no, I'm tough. He literally just goes like, okay, like whatever, but I'm here, and lock the door when it's done. Like, it's a very
All right.
it's hard to give this character credit because he does suck, but Ewing has been growing him up, and it's kind of nice to
Ewing's
see.
been balancing this thing. He's been doing this balance thing where he'll like give us those kind of cathartic moments, usually through Dylan, of like Paul getting crapped on because none of us like him. We all hate his guts and we kind of want him to die or just disappear entirely, at least. Um, but then he'll also
Clone Geek called
give
it at the top,
Paul
right?
like a couple of moments here and there where it's like, oh, look at you acting like an actual grown adult, you
Right.
know, to where it's like he's giving the catharsis to the people that want to see him socked in the mouth, whether verbally or literally, um, while also being like, if this character is being forced to stick around because of editorial, I'm gonna try and make him have at least 1 or 2 moments every now and then that are, like, not insufferable.
Like, 1 or 2 moments that he's not insufferable, but I think it's to the aim of Ewing realizes that if we just kept shitting on Paul or ignoring him, it would grow tired. It would start opening up holes in the story, right?
Yeah.
Like, where is he? Why
Well, then it would
isn't he
feel
with Dylan?
forced, right?
Exactly. So I think he's going, I have to have Paul here. What can I do with him? I can't make him a
Mhm.
hero. I'm not, maybe I don't make him a villain. I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion, a fear, and this is what I mentioned at the top, that the end of this event will end with him having some symbiote, right? And he'll
Mm.
be like, uh, remember the Sadness Lantern over in DC
No.
who was like, oh, Carol and Hal are together. That breaks my heart. Boo hoo hoo. Like, now I'm
Yeah.
going to kill. I feel like it's going to be something like that. Like, it's all going to end. Status quo will be slightly colored differently, not changed entirely. But Paul will be like, oh, I don't have MJ. I don't have whatever. And there will be some symbiote piece, whether of torment
Uh-huh.
or fucking toxin, right? The crazy
Oh,
toxin.
yeah.
And that, you link those two together, you could probably play with like a more, honestly, hear me out here. Now that you give him toxin being sort of stupid and violent and like a little more like willing to be bad, and then Paul being very insecure, and if we learn that all of this maturity was sort of him trying but it was still a facade, you can have a character, I think, that is like, it's Venom as MJ saw him before. Remember?
Mm.
Like, the Predator who is there for me, who always wants to disrupt our lives. Like, he's there
Right.
to stalk and kill us, Peter. Like, this is terrifying. Not just goo monster. So,
Mhm.
like, that could be cool.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's too many moving parts here, and that just popped off
Yeah,
my head. So I don't
I
really know.
think
Like,
frickin' Nick Lowe is gay for Paul, so
he has to
because it's the
too.
only reason why he's still around,
Why he is
honestly.
still
That's the
what
only thing.
what issue was it? Oh no, yeah, Madam Mask or whatever. It's like, oh, you had to move back in with your boyfriend. Like, nobody wanted that, did they? Or
Yeah,
whatever. Where it's
I
like,
and Al Ewing has had so many of those little one-liners throughout this series, like just reminding people, like, "Hey, I get it. I don't like this guy
which
either,
is which
but
is
it's just cards dealt, right?"
and that's what I like, is that he's going, hey, I know this guy, so like, I'm with you guys. Screw this dude. Now that
Yeah,
that's established, we all know I unfortunately have a job to do here, right? Like, I
right.
have to play with him, and so everybody can go, all right, he's with us. Like, okay, let's go. Like, we can do this. Him and Gomez, right? Very vocal about how much they
Oh,
hate
yeah.
Paul. So
Gomez is incredibly
he
vocal
just
about how much he hates
go follow
Paul.
him on Instagram, guys, by the way. So we get another check-in with, remember, this is the first Death Spiral. We're just setting up where everybody is. We get reminded that MJ and Flash are hanging out doing, their superhero thing. I don't really know what this, like, it's so weird because they're like Flash, what would you say we are? I don't
Mm,
know. Maybe, like, we're friends, but maybe we could be more than friends, but also I don't really care. And like, the conversation kind of comes out of nowhere. It feels like they want to give this like a love
well,
arc triangle thing, but they
yeah,
won't commit to it. And
yeah.
it's just weird. That's really all the commentary on it is just, Very, very, very weird. And let's see. Off of that, yeah, everybody just gets an update. Eddie's in town, yada, yada, yada. Come home. MJ's off. Eddie is, he's going, all right, we can't find the serial killer tonight. We're going to sleep it off. And we'll try
We
again in the
learned
morning.
that while he's been asleep, Carnage has been taking out his phone and texting
with the new
Torment.
villain. Yeah, Torment. Which also, guys, Andrew, I fucking hate, like, this page bugs me so much because the texts aren't presented the right way. Like, the Carnage's texts are drawn here as if they're coming into the phone. And it's not 2004 anymore. Everybody has an iPhone. I don't know. What did you guys do?
Or a Galaxy.
Or a Galaxy, but you still know how the bubbles go.
Yeah, and so like your texts are on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yep.
The ones that you're receiving are on the left-hand side.
So like I genuinely had a moment of like, who's talking here? Because I was like, wait, Torment? But yeah, just very, very. Why, guys? Why? But that's basically all. It's whatever. It's a weird art thing. I'll slap what's his name? It's like Jesus Says, right? I think is the art. Yeah, Jesus Says.
I remember he's got a pretty like realistic, like pseudo painted lifestyle.
I'm not a big fan, at least in symbiote sense.
Yeah, I feel like symbiotes should be a little more fantastical in how they look. Didn't he draw some of the issues of Absolute or of the Carnage series?
Yeah, he was the main artist for Carnage, which is like,
that's why.
It's fine. Like the art in that was fine. But like, yeah, he's just, I don't know.
Because that book was meant to be kind of like a gritty thriller.
That's true.
So
like
I can see how his style fits that genre. But then the thing is, there are other variables to take into account with that. If you were just taking gritty crime thriller, right, murder mystery type of thing, his style on paper works perfectly, right? It's made
absolutely.
for it. But then you add in the other variable, though, which is the fantastical element of the symbiotes. And it's like, he's very good, but he doesn't draw them well, if that makes sense. Because he draws them too, I guess, realistically. They look too formed. They look too... It looks more like a bodysuit than anything, right?
Honestly, what it looks like is like if we were watching a live action movie and the suit itself, how they communicate, like it was moving, like it was just like, not like moving, but like breathing, alive, like swirling or whatever. Like if we were watching that movie and we took a frame screenshot of it, that's what this looks like. And you can see that in the way he colors and the way he paints it, which, okay, sure. It's not bad, but as we'll see, when you have people like Carlos Gomez on it, or to go a little out of pocket, Iban, or even Mark Bagley from back in the day, you'll see that there's something missing here. Like I told you earlier today, there is a panel where we finally see Eddie web swinging as Carnage, like wearing Carnage as Venom, and I went, oh my God, like we haven't seen that, have we?
No,
like,
we hadn't.
Which is crazy.
That's the first time we actually got to see that.
So that's just I guess a quick nod to the art. To wrap up this issue, what we do learn here in terms of plot is, in case you guys probably saw, but at the bottom of every page on this issue, almost, we are getting little like news updates, random vignettes of people dying. A bus explodes. Somebody hangs themselves, somebody is assassinated, somebody gets hit by a car, somebody's parachute doesn't open. And as we're going through, all the victims, we start as readers noticing a pattern where, somebody named Albrock was killed. And then, a bunch of Rileys were killed. And then a bunch of Watsons were killed. And you're starting to go, oh, what's happening here? And that links us all to what Torment is doing, which is killing everybody, I guess, related to MJ, Eddie, and Peter, Eddie, and I think MJ. I can't tell if MJ is a target or if she's just roped in because they they're they're destined to be in love or whatever. Just
I
something
think
like that
now
kind of
she's a
thing.
target. I
That's
think now
okay.
she's a target because Carnage put her on Torment's radar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she says right here,
Because he
like, I got
found
an up.
out because he found out Peter's identity,
And
right?
then,
And so
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, okay, MJ's connected to Peter. So because that's the way that Torment hunts, right? Like he goes after everybody that is connected with that person, and then he goes after that person last.
And yeah, he goes and he starts with like the most removed,
Yeah.
like,
So that each time there's like
family
fewer and
member.
fewer people to grieve the remaining, grieve the
Right.
fewer people remaining in the family to grieve the people who have been lost
And then
until like all
it's
that's
too late
left is the final person, and now there's nobody left to even grieve them.
to grieve, or even for that final person to sort of realize the pattern
Mhm.
until it's there, right? Because all those people,
Yeah.
Florida, a Orthodox Jew, somebody who lived in Ireland, like, as we go through that issue, it is a lot of what, like, why are we connected? They're all so
Mhm.
disparate, and then they come together. And so I'll give it this. I think that's kind of an intriguing comic
It's an
book
interesting
serial
angle.
killer thing. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
right? Like, might be a little too fantastical if you tried to sell me this in CSI, but I think this
Mhm.
is like really good for a comic book plot. I could see it being a Batman plot too. Obviously not with Torment, but I don't know, fucking Mad Hatter. Let's give it a whirl. So
Yeah.
from there, we got into our second issue of Death Spiral. We went over to Amazing Spider-Man, where we had Joe Kelly and my man Ed McGuinness coming back for art. Here we finally get the more fallout from Peter returning. We, Peter is catching back up with Aunt May, where
Mhm.
she goes, "Hey, I need to have a talk with you. I know, like, even though I'm putting on a good face, you being gone and not telling me, and I don't know where you were, like, it ripped me up. I don't know."
Yeah.
Right? But then she does the Aunt May thing where she goes like, "And here's the thing. Even though that kills me, I know the only reason you won't tell me is because, like, you're not ready. And that's okay.
Mhm.
And, like, but I know that everything, like, you are a good person. I know me and Uncle Ben raised you. I'm here whenever you're ready, but I believe in you." Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that, yeah, tell me whether or not it's over.
I love that
I
page.
do too. Where Pete's having this,
Yeah,
like,
Venom
super
and,
heart
and
to
Lady
heart,
Hawk.
and then right behind him, like, oh, now I
That's
have to make it like,
amazing.
oh crap, now I gotta
That to
go.
me reminds me of so you remember the first Amazing Spider-Man film
Yeah,
when Lizard attacks Peter at his school,
yeah,
right?
best
Then
one,
you
yeah.
have the part where like he suits up and then he's fighting him inside one of the classrooms, and you have like Stan Lee
Oh
playing
yeah,
one of the
he's like,
janitors, like
no,
he's
it's the
cleaning
library.
and
Yeah, he's like
stuff.
putting all the library books away, and they're just
Yeah,
like
and then they're
crawling behind
fighting in the
him.
background. Like it reminds me of stuff like that. I love that. I think
I
that's
do
fun.
love jokes like that. It also reminds me, because of Venom, it reminds me of that one scene we liked early on in All New Venom, where, like, Luke and Robbie are having lunch and they both think they know the other one
The
is
other one is Venom.
Venom,
Yeah, yeah,
but then
yeah.
all of a sudden, like, Venom starts rollerblading down the street, remember, because he's pretending to
Yeah.
be Iron Man, and then it's
Yeah.
like Venom,
And then they're both just kind
slide,
of like,
and then like a bunch of cops, and then
okay.
they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta go take care of that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta go.
That was a
So
great moment.
I love that kind of slapsticky stuff. So yeah, as Andrew pointed out, we do get a random return of Lady Octopus, who I like these gender bent versions, as long as you don't try to say like they're the original, they're better or whatever, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm up for sexy Lady Octopus. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like female Scorpion. She was really cool.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
female Electro has her moments. She's even
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would actually put her as like more intimidating than Electro, but that was through proper development. That wasn't just like, she's
Mhm.
here, she's better. It was years of them teaming up and Max just being a wiener, who we know he is. So from there, we get Spidey coming out here with
That's a great
I
page,
love
by the
this.
way. Freaking McGinnis, man.
I told you,
I
man,
saw
like,
when I saw that he was on this issue, I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." And like all the, interpersonal stuff was great. He's a great artist. He can do
of
anything.
course, yeah.
But then you get that page where it has, the one that we were just talking about
Mhm.
where Lady Ock and Venom are going right behind. It was like, oh, here we go. Now we're getting to the good stuff. And then we get to that page with Pete there and
Like
Venom.
Pete's flipping, Lady Octopus
man,
is
it looks
flipping, like,
good.
and the laser play. It's so good. Like, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is why
That is an
I love
amazing
McGinnis.
piece
This
of
is my
art.
man right here. Again, another one I want without any of the. Actually, I might keep the text on these because it's fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like hello Spider-Man. Like, Venom is pissed, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then like Pete's here, like, will Lady Octopus finally find her love connection? Arm in arm with tall, dark, and handsome. Not gonna lie, I can see
Arm
it.
in arm and arm in arm. I
Yeah,
think is what he
arm in
says.
arm in arm in arm. Yeah, and I'm like, classic Petey, like classic
That's
Pete
so
line.
good.
It's so like, I missed you, buddy. Like you're back. You're finally here with us again.
Thank
Even if
you
it's
for
for a
being
second,
back.
even for like a
Yeah.
second in this panel. But from there, it does last more than a second because we
Mhm.
do get a really good outing of Venom and Spidey teaming up for the first time. They run
Mhm.
into Shocker and Lady Octopus. Obviously, Shocker starts giving Venom a run for her money with his,
Mhm.
vibro gauntlets. However, and I love that they kept this consistent, Venom
Yeah.
thinks outside the box.
Yep.
And instead of just, going full on, Venom sees a sewer grate, pushes herself down inside of it, pops up with like a giant arm. And
Mhm.
this is the stuff you and I talk about with Carlos, always going
Yeah.
outside of the box with the Venom suit. I'm glad they keep, like, other
And
writers are keeping
it's
that.
character development for Venom
Yeah.
too, because one thing that and I always we always compare it to how Jeff Johns handled the Green Lanterns, right? How they
Yes.
each lean into something different, even though they all have the same powers. Al Ewing does the
Yes.
same thing with the different hosts for the symbiotes, and Brock is a bruiser, right? He's a meathead. Yeah, I mean he's a decent reporter, but like he's not a Rhodes Scholar
No,
here, right? Like he's not thinking out of the box. That's
meathead
not
is
what
like
he's
the
good at,
best term for him.
right? There's a reason why Venom's look is what it is normally by default, being gigantic and looking like an absolute Hulk monster, right? Because he got that off of Eddie. Because Eddie's the meathead, right? He's a bruiser, he's brute force, right? And it's scary because he's gigantic, right?
Right.
At least when he's drawn properly in my mind.
Yeah,
I like giant,
I
Eddie
do
Brock
too.
Venom.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how he should be in my mind. But then
Liefeld proportions for Venom are okay.
yeah,
Like,
that's fine. Yeah, no, they work for Venom, right? Not so much Captain America. But MJ, on the other hand, it's really interesting because we know that she's smart. She's not genius level intelligence, but she's smart and she's learned how to think outside the box a little bit because of who she spent so much time around.
Spider Island,
Right.
That
So
event sucks, but I'll always go back to MJ being like, "Yo, I can teach you, New York, like what to do because I've done this before." Like,
yeah,
that
I've
was a
been
good
saved by
moment.
Spider-Man a bunch of times. I can help you figure this out, right?
Right.
And so she really sells it on like the intellect part, but also because of who she spent so much time with, Spidey, she has a lot more of the more comic booky stuff
Well,
when
you can-
she's Venom, right?
And if we
You
really want
see
to,
the Spidey influence.
and if we really want to take it all in, like and play the cards we're dealt, thinking outside the box like this is also, you have Peter, who's obviously think on his feet, Tony, who she worked for like ever.
Oh yeah,
Right. And Tony is the guy who maybe he gets beaten in the moment, but okay, what do I have around me? I landed in a Toys R Us. I'm going to take this amiibo and a controller, and I've got, an ion cannon.
the
now.
amiibo's
Like,
not going to get you anything.
You don't know.
You're
Have
gonna
you
have to
seen
figure
the Kirby
something else.
ones? Have you seen the Kirby ones? They're giant. They might power something. But I like it too because Spidey up there is surprised. Like he doesn't expect Venom to do that, right? Because Venom doesn't do that. He punches. At most, I think the most auxiliary thing a Venom has ever done was that very brief period when Mac first got it, and he was like he took his scorpion shape still.
Yeah.
That and he had the tail, but that was like it. Because then once the Dark Avengers stuff starts, he's just like to your point about how like all the hosts are different. He's skinny. He's like Spider-Man in the suit, and then when he goes Venom, he's monstrous compared to Eddie. Like he's not just big dude. He's like Cthulhu horror, and that's Mac is trying to overcompensate. That's why he gets
which is what they
the
leaned
symbiote the first
into
time.
in the old Ultimate Universe as well.
Exactly. Oh, God, I remember how that symbiote like existed, and then Donny Cates got in a car accident, and now the Maker is trapped in like that weird, the Ultimate Universe, but not the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
If Ultimate Invasion doesn't end, or Endgame doesn't end with some mention of like that was his first try or something, I'm gonna
right.
I don't know. I'm gonna commit.
It'd kind of be upsetting and disappointing, in my opinion, disrespectful as well.
Definitely.
I don't want to talk much about the Ultimate Universe,
No.
because Ultimate Endgame is just obnoxious.
It's
But
so
I,
bad.
I one of the books that I caught up on today was Ultimates issue 21.
Is that the most recent one?
It's the most recent one from like I think a week or two ago, and I almost fell asleep reading it.
It's boring.
I was like, I was honestly debating bringing up my pull list and just having my shop like, you can take this one off. I don't care enough to read the last three.
At this point, you're like for me, it's like it's about to end. Like I might as well get these last 3 issues, right? Like
it is, but that's just like where I was at in terms of just like how disinterested I was in that issue.
And I'm agreeing with you as somebody who is generally more open to like that overt prose stuff from that book, right? Like it was still just like disappointing. But yeah, let's not get too into it because you and I could just go forever. But from there we get one of the best, like I love this panel to death. It is amazing. But Venom whooshes Spidey away, and
as a big head
does the Marvel versus Capcom thing, and they basically go, stop calling us Eddie, because it's not. And this is where Peter goes,
and you can just see Peter's face behind the mask like, what the hell?
Well, I'm not gonna I was so happy because hey guys, I'm like, I love this like MJ is sexy, Venom looks like terrifying, Pete is properly like taken aback, all the coloring, like
everything's great about this page.
It's chef's kiss. But then you turn the page and Pete literally goes like, is this drugs? Have I been drugged? No, maybe I'm dead. Like I'm dying, right? Like is this Earth 616? Is like
he uses his mask as a freaking breathing bag, right?
And he's actually freaking out. And honestly, this is what, like, I read this page and I was like, this is what Andrew was calling. This is what Andrew proposed to us here on the show. And that I've been like, please give us that. So like, even if we don't get a good confrontation with Norman and Ben or whatever, we already did, and they kind of sucked.
Both of those kind of sucked. Like there was like the Norman one was a letdown because it felt like they just tried to sweep it under the rug really quick. The Ben one was like, it felt like more could have been there.
The Ben one definitely felt like,
so they just kind of want to get him out of the way as quickly as possible.
I felt like they didn't even want to do that, save for the fact they had to explain why we just randomly had him abandon the role, right? You and I have talked. It feels like they really truncated a lot of whatever this plot was. The space Earth plot. So with Ben, and remember, Ben's leaving makes 0 sense in context. You and I, even you, as somebody who does not like the other spiders, you were like, what the hell was that? Like, that's not his character.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
And so we got that fight scene, which I think was for us to finally get the, like, I realized I didn't want your life anymore, which is like, okay, good. It's a good reason, like we talked about. Yeah. Just maybe not like, I don't know, like.
Maybe just not so rushed.
Yeah, exactly. I think that might be it. Because it was just.
Like, take more than 15 minutes to come to that conclusion.
No, you don't understand. We have to get to a crossover. You don't understand. Oh, but
I am glad that we do at least, and we'll get, once we get to the last issue of the night here after this, when we get to Venom, like I at least managed to kind of call it, right?
You did. You did. And
we got 2 out of 4.
It's a very weird part where like feeling I'm in terms of like fandom, where I'm like, I am reading these issues with the expectation that one of my best friend's prediction comes true, right? Like I'm not even like really engaged with the story. I'm like, please let Andrew like be right. Please let Andrew be right. And yeah, would you say 2 for 4? I think 2 for 4.
I think I was bad. So I think at 50% was a 500 batting average.
That at least gets you, one start in the majors, right? We're
There you go.
getting
Yeah,
there.
I might get to
Um,
play a game.
So yeah, from there, while MJ and Pete are hashing that out, we have Eddie and Carnage hanging out, trying to find, distract themselves, work on the case. They're still back and forthing here. A lot of what we get so far in these 3 issues of Eddie and Carnage is a lot of catching you, like the non-Eddie Brock Carnage readers up. It's really showing you their dynamic. So we could
Well,
sit here.
I think a lot of that has to do with they probably looked at the numbers of the Eddie Brock Carnage book, and they were like, a lot of people didn't read
Like,
this, so they're gonna have
nobody knows
no
what's
idea
going
what's
on.
going
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Which is
so we
like,
got to figure out how to kind of catch them up, which I guess fair enough. Which
yeah.
makes me sad though, because Charles Soule wrote a good book.
That was a damn good book while it was up, and
I
just
still
such a
need to
bummer.
grab the trade. Is the
Is
trade
it
even
out?
out?
I was just about to ask you, like, I don't know if it's out yet,
It
but
might not be out.
yeah. So we keep, again, McGinnis. Just look at that Carnage here. Look at that Eddie here. It's just, I love his art. He's fantastic. But
And McGinnis is so good.
yeah. So he realizes that, oh, Carnage is now able to like move without me, which is something that didn't happen before, and that's like the thing he was like sort of his failsafe was, this is bad. I know this is bad. I know Carnage is crazy, but he can't do anything unless I, symbiote will it. And now he's learning, what, you took my
Now
phone?
he's
Like,
learning.
what's
Yeah,
going
no,
on?
he is able to do things without you.
And so he's starting to freak out. This shit. Okay, so cut again to.
I wanted to ask how you felt about them doing this.
So, yeah, what we cut away from Carnage and Eddie to find Shocker, home having a beer after his fight with Lady Octopus, Venom, and Spidey. Basically talking to Tombstone, saying like, "Hey, it didn't work out, but I'm glad I could help." Like, it's a pretty positive turn for 2-bit criminal Shocker. He's still criminal, but he's not getting his ass kicked. He's not getting, walloped by the Kingpin for failing. He's in a job that respects him, if you will.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he even says that. He's like, who would have thought Tombstone would be the best boss I ever had?
Yeah.
So the only thing, like the thing where I went, like I exclaimed, is just the cutting of like tendons like that in fiction. Always just like, oh, like that's one of those injuries that's like, it's so intense and so visceral, I think is the right term. And you don't recover from that. Like, well, you do, but it's not just like, oh, let's bandage it up. Like this shit, you are cutting a full muscle. Like your foot's not connected anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that I just went, oh, like when I turned the page, I was like, oh, that sucks. But from there, we learn that Torment has put Shocker in his sights because I think it's Shocker's aunt married somebody, and so his cousin married a Watson, and so that puts him in the spiral. And so off of that, that's the end of Shocker. So
he died. He's dead.
I'm very. So you asked, like, how do I feel about it? I think
he's a villain that's been around for a long time.
He's a villain that's been around for a long time, and in recent years, he hasn't necessarily been like kind of what we were just saying. He hasn't been villain. Remember, like Superior.
Yeah, he
Foes
hasn't
of
been like
Spider-Man,
super villain.
Venom
right?
War. He's been like, oh, I'm still a robber. I'm a bank robber. I'm gonna go do this. But he's got like a heart of gold.
He helped out. Yeah, he helped out during Venom War.
Right, and so like he really feels like that image of the person who like is a good person is maybe just a little stupid and doesn't see a better way than
needs to stop making really bad choices.
Exactly, because Pete will point out later, like the dude made all of his tech. He could have gone and been rich off of that, but he said, I'm gonna rob banks instead, right? So yeah, just a little dumb on his end, but so with that, I feel like this is with them choosing Shocker specifically and then connecting him with such a wild, like out there thing. It feels like this was done for shock value and only shock value. It doesn't feel like you specifically needed to kill off Shocker. You could have gone for, I don't know. MJ's got like 7 clones from the Jackal still like walking around out there. Could have done something like that. Or you could have done, the Goblin Queen, whatever.
Oh gosh. Honestly, I think the only reason why they do it, and they kind of address it in the Venom issue that we'll get to in a second,
is to take
it's just to get his gauntlets. And it's like, okay, but like, are we gonna act like nobody in the history of Earth 616 has
Has
thought of
a
like
sound weapon.
sound-based
The
weaponry
Fantastic
before?
Four, like Reed invented a gun specifically to get the symbiote off after they realized it was weak to sonics. You've got
Like, you could have actually
Songbird, you've
had
got Banshee.
you wanna really, like, raise the stakes here? Have Torment, like, break into the Baxter Building, mess up the Fantastic Four,
That's
because 'cause they're
actually
not really
scary.
doing anything
No, they
important
really
right
aren't.
now. Unfortunately, again, Ryan North, like, beautiful art by Humberto
Well,
Ramos,
to be
but
fair, Johnny and Ben are currently taking care of Simbi. All right, very very necessary job they need to take care
right. Right, yeah, super important, kind of adorable, but yeah.
of.
Um, have him break in there and take that weapon, right? And that would be a huge callback.
Yeah, and like you said,
To
like
me,
it
that
was
would elevate it.
way
And
more
then
of
you
a
don't have to
callback.
just like shock value kill off a long-standing character.
Or you even lean into, I believe, because they bring it up in the next issue. We'll get into it, but like Carnage, as we know, has evolved, right? So you could have
Mhm.
just, we don't know what Torment symbiote is. We know he is a symbiote, right? Like, or do we
Yeah.
know that? Yeah, we do know that. Torment's a,
Well, I
or
guess we're kind of
do
making
we?
assumptions
I think
based
we
on how
are.
he looks.
I think you and I might
And
be.
I think part of that might be because of us being so used to the spiral being associated with Null,
With
but it's
Null.
not exactly the same spiral. It's just super similar to where it's like you're gonna have to come up with a really good reason why that has no connection with
Yeah,
Null.
yeah, exactly.
If
Like
you're basically using his symbol,
you can't
right?
have two big bads related to Spider-Man that use a bloody like spiral. Like
Yeah,
we're
like
gonna get confused over here. You cannot have the Carnage. You can't have the No family. All right, I'm not gonna stand for that. Like
yeah.
I'm already with you at no more Spider people after this. I have a bigger leeway than you, but like I'm not accepting a damn Carnage family or a Null family. We're not doing that. So off of that, yeah. So Herman's dead now. Shock value. I'm gonna miss him. Hopefully they bring him back in a fun, goofy way because he's that kind of character. He shouldn't be treated with such seriousness. I guess he's not that
Yeah.
anymore. So from there, yeah, we have MJ and Pete just hashing everything out. Oh, and Venom, where yeah, so we get a quick recap from everybody where you were punched into literal space, punched into a gate into space. Technically, you died. And then MJ goes, and your clone took your place as Peter Parker, and Norman was Spider-Man, and almost everyone I know thinks I ghosted them or went insane. But yes, that's not the headline. You died. Venom chimes in, we got better. Also, she broke up with Paul. This made some people very happy. Are you some people? Like
I loved that. I loved that. I was like,
I also like that's Ewing using like the Venom speak properly and in a way to like shout out to us, right? Like
yeah.
some people, reader, I know.
Mhm.
So
Wink, wink, nod,
really,
nod.
really good vehicle here. So the only thing I'm going to bring up here, I don't know if you caught this, but it's a weird disconnect, and it goes back to the Spider editorial office because right here, as we turn the page, Pete goes, you bonded with Venom months before I was gone. Why didn't you tell me? And MJ goes, because I knew that somehow you'd make it about you when we chose this. And that's not how that happened. Like, this was not choosing. This was remember. And I mean, Pete even says, like, he's talking about it. Like,
yeah,
she was
like,
dying.
You were about to die.
Both
like
of
you were
them, and
seconds away from dying.
And like this, I think this really bugs me in particular because it erases one of those, like, that's one of our favorite recent like moments, right? Where the symbiote goes, what would
Spider-Man do?
That's why I saved you, is because I thought, what would he do? And you and I were like, yeah. And now they're just like,
that was fist pump in the air.
Yeah, we chose this. And I'm like, I don't know what you were doing here, guys. I could get if you're saying like we chose to be a hero, okay, but he's talking about bonding, and you didn't choose that. So ultimately, it's just a little error. It bugs us. Marvel will have to fix it later. But from there, we just get the page turn to see that Herman is dead, kaput, sliced the hell up to hell and back. I don't know why I said it like that. So From there, we click into the third issue, the third entry thus far of Death Spiral, this week's issue, which is Venom 255, Part 3, as they hide up there in the damn little corner. So, first off, we get Gomez back on art, which I think he did the last ones, right, with Madame Mask, but he was gone for like a second there. So, nice to see that
he was gone for like
fully
two issues, 1 or 2 issues, I think. He wasn't around.
Which,
we had a fill-in, and the fill-in artist was fine.
He was good, but
I mean, you get anybody that's not Carlos Gomez, you're going to notice, right? Even if that other person is good, you're going to be like, oh, it's not Carlos.
Especially when you see MJ, you're going to be like, oh, that's
weird.
Man,
yeah.
So
like comics interiors best MJ.
Just like maybe ever. You're up there, Gomez. We'd have to do a full comprehensive look, but you're definitely up there. So with Venom, we open the latest chapter of Death Spiral on Eddie Brock's dad, who, if you guys remember, we actually have gotten a lot of development with him in recent years, especially out of the Donny Cates run, out of the Ewing run after Cates' accident. A lot of...
He was even touched on a bit in Ebon more.
Yeah, and basically they built him up from just being, shitty to he is shitty, but Eddie also didn't really help the situation, and it's less he's an evil man and more just I guess probably a weak man. Like he just couldn't handle it. Like, he didn't know how better to handle any of these situations. So he lashed out, he yada yada. But with that, we open. Brock Sr., Carl Brock, he's on the phone talking about, I can't believe it. My brother and his wife were murdered. He gets a knock on the door. From that, we flip, and that's our cold open for this issue. From there, we check in on Eddie and Carnage, who just got the news off of the Daily Bugle, which I liked, like a good little detail there, keep us all in the world, that Carnage is back. Oh my gosh. And of course, Eddie goes like, are you telling me, like, what are you telling? Like, what are you not telling me? And Carnage is like, I don't know. That's not me. I don't know what to tell you. We also get like my favorite panel probably of the year now in this issue off of Gomez. Like, Carnage,
this was a wild panel, man.
So funny.
I turned the page and like, what?
Like, what? We've never seen this before, where Carnage basically replaces
He's like, let me take a look through your eyes.
Yeah,
and
like he replaces Eddie's optic nerve. And I love the bit, like, after it, nobody freaks out. Eddie's just like, Carnage. And he's like, relax. Like, I'll put it back in. And he's just like...
It's like when your dog starts acting like a psychopath, but it's your dog. And so you're just like, all right, give him a minute.
Right, exactly. Right. And you're just like, okay, buddy. But yeah, we have Carnage. He basically comes out, and we get he gives the revelation that so Eddie thinks like, or what am I trying? I'm getting ahead of myself. I totally forgot. I'm just like, I love the eyeball so much that I kind of like blanked out on the rest of this scene. But it's basically Carnage pops out to get a look at the newspaper, tells Eddie like, this is interesting. I don't know what he wants, but I'm a fan of his work. Eddie, we get more of that. Hey, don't cross me, Carnage, or I'm going to take care of you. And off of that, we actually get the reveal that Carnage has been texting and telling Torment about everything. So basically we're at a standoff of like Carnage is screwing things up and trying to kill Eddie and everybody. Eddie can't really do anything about it because he'd die. Right?
Yeah.
Like, very, very rough spot for Eddie. But we leave Eddie for a minute to check back in on Pete and MJ. They enter the bar with no name, which, in case you guys don't know, is a long-established villains-only bar that exists in the Marvel Universe. Heroes know it's there. It's sort of their secret, like, getaway, under the table, hush-hush. Of course, as Spider-Man steps in, everybody's going, what the heck? Get him out of here. But the most opposed to his presence is Boomerang, who, again, if you guys remember, he not only was he in the Superior Foes of Spider-Man series with Shocker being sort of the villains with the heart of gold, but during Wells's run, there was that whole arc or was it Spencer, where Boomerang and Peter Parker were like
that was
roommates.
Spencer's run.
Yeah,
that was Spencer's run. Yeah,
and it's really fun, guys. Like that's actually a really fun bit of Spencer's arc where, Pete's trying Pete knows that Boomerang is a scumbag, but he can't say anything because he can't give away his identity. So he kind of has to just deal with him being a bad roommate. But then Fred, yeah, shows his heart of gold, goes to save him, fights alongside him. So with that, we like, and that kind of plays in here, right? Where Boomerang gets up and goes like, oh, no, get the hell out of here. Do you remember what happened during Venom War? Do you remember what happened? Like, did you not just hear what happened to Shocker? Like, get the hell out of here. You guys, and he does, like, I actually like this scene because he hits Spidey pretty hard, right? Like, there you go, cracking jokes again. Like, we're not friends. None of the folks who are grieving, like, need you, the guy who webs us up for the cops, to start cracking jokes. Like, why don't you just get out of here? And then Spidey goes like, and you guys were right. Like, I liked Carnage or Shocker, and that's why, like, I always thought he would be better, and I always thought I would have that day to see him change or lead him to that change. So I just cracked wise, and now he's dead, and now, like, all I can do is be the guy who webs up his killer. And Boomerang goes like, you're lucky we're friends.
He's like, damn it.
Which I love. Well, I love that because there's that. He's like, there you go, cracking jokes. We're not friends. And then
he goes, you're lucky we're friends.
Yeah, you're lucky we're friends. Let me make a call real quick. So we also then, more of that Ewing Gomez like hinting at the MJ stuff, because we get what is it, like Venom goes like, you're friends with Boomerang? And Pete goes like, I'm pretty sure MJ knows. So Venom goes, all right, let me talk to my host. Oh, yeah, I see that. And you were together, and that was a difficult time for both of you. And Pete basically just goes like, hey, shut up. Like, don't want to talk. Like, that's literally it. There's no, he's just, hey, you're right, but shut up. Like, I don't know what to say to that. From that, we learn that Boomerang put in a call to Tombstone. Tombstone comes in to talk about the fact that Carnage just cut up one of his like main lieutenants. And,
or at least they think Carnage did.
At least they think he did. So I really love this too, because Spidey's going in and he's going, all right, we got to play this cool. Like let's do the talking. He's not on our side, right? Like, you got to be careful. And as soon as so Tombstone, I love this too, where Tombstone goes, yeah, Carnage is back in New York. One of yours, right? And Spidey goes, not technically. And then Venom goes, and Venom's yes, like, literally.
Yes, literally. I thought that was fun.
But off of that, Tombstone goes, tell me how to kill it. And Spidey's like, and Venom just starts going, fire, sonics, like high frequency, starve him. And he just starts going off. And I love that. And Pete's like, hey, what about webbing him up? And Carnage and Venom are like, or Tombstone and Venom go, this is the big kids table. Like, step aside. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself dead. From there, we check back in with Eddie, who is still looking into a bunch of the Torment murders. And it's here where he finally puts the connection together that Torment is going after members of their family, where he realizes somebody blew up a bus. Half the people of it had the same name, which was also the name of the bus company, Brock. And he goes, they were all going to a funeral of another Brock. Like, let me look at something. And so he looks up his uncle and his aunt, and he realizes, like, what? When did they die? What? That's when he realized, like, oh shit, dad. So he bolts out of there. And this is where I mentioned, shout out to Gomez. We get Carnage.
That's a very like classic Venom panel right there in terms of how he's slaying.
Yeah, like, and it's like we said, it's the first time Eddie's used the Carnage symbiote as he would the Venom symbiote, like as he knows how to use it, as opposed to Cletus or Dylan or something. So really, this is like a real, like, I love this panel. Like, just finally,
it's a great panel.
We got to see that. So from there, we get our first real official team up with Spider-Man and Venom, who, as they are off to track Shocker, Spidey's got a vibro frequency tracking device that he invented all those years ago to fight Shocker originally. They grab it, they're tracking it, but as they're tracking it, they see Carnage swinging off to save his dad. Of course, this sends Venom into sort of a rage, like a feral rage, and they off to the races, right? That's right, Daddy's home. Venom just starts kicking the crap out of Carnage.
That is such an anime panel right there too. I love that
panel so much, dude. I tried to make it the thumbnail, but it's just too big. Didn't work, but man, I love it so much.
It reminds me of like, and I don't like either character, but it reminds me of like Mike Guy or Rock Lee, like flying in
Yep.
with a crazy kick, right?
For me, like, I'm sure everybody's gonna be sick of this, but like, this is like how some of the common riders do their final kicks, and I'm like, oh,
Okay, yeah.
perfect. Like,
Oh, is it
let's
with like both feet? I always thought it like the
mainly it's
common
with
kicks were usually with one.
it's usually with one, but then like, you know, in like the
Okay.
movies or like the big epic moments, it's the we're gonna use
Oh, you might get
all
the
our
double.
power, right? And like,
Oh shoot, okay.
so
Okay.
yeah, just absolute good moment, and I like that Gomez, like, he makes all the impacts with the symbiotes gooey, right? Like up there, and like Carnage's neck sort of explodes. Same down
Yeah,
there
it's
when
not like
he's
he's
punching
just
at
hitting
him.
a solid object.
Right, like he's remembering that it's gooey. It's an alien, but Carnage, or Venom at this point, is operating off of the idea that he is still the Carnage we saw during Venom War, who had made backdoor deals with Meridius and had the Necro Spear and was just killing everything, like absolute carnage. And I even like, you know, they bring up the fact, like, what is the gold on Venom? It's the anti-carnage stuff, right? And so he starts beating him to death. Like, he starts beating the hell out of him. And I like this panel at the top.
He's beating the symbiote off of him.
He beats the symbiote off of, like, she beats it off of Eddie, but she, like, in the way Eddie's getting hit, she can't see that face. Like, she still doesn't know that's Eddie. So of course, they start, you know, wham, 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 wham. Off of that, you know, Pete comes in, he goes, hey, Carnage isn't the one who, you know, killed Shocker. He has nothing to do with this. We got to keep going. And they go, wait, well, if it's not Carnage, then did somebody frame him? And they go, like,
no, who the hell would frame Carnage?
Why would anybody do that? And, you know, Carnage goes, because Carnage, and that's also what Venom thinks, is that Carnage is back to finally put Eddie in the grave. Like, he thinks, like, Carnage knows Eddie is dying. We're going to find him. We're going to kill him. So Venom's like, I don't think so. Not on my watch. Eddie, and then so Carnage stands up and explains, the reason somebody's framing me is because Carnage didn't come here to kill Eddie Brock. He came with Eddie Brock because we are I don't think he's said that yet.
I think that's the first time
I think he
said that, actually. Like, I don't think he even said that once in the Charles Soule run.
I don't. Right? And like Venom's reaction over there, just the like brain break and the no, like
he looks totally mentally busted.
Like he doesn't know how to comprehend this. This is Gomez's version
when I saw that panel
of Pete going like
yeah.
And yeah, I laughed pretty hard when he just like snaps up like what? And so Carnage whips him out, says, get the hell out of my way. I'm just gonna say this now. I don't have time to explain it. Just stay out of my way. Rushes off, you know, gets to his dad's apartment, goes, Dad, are you here? Finds, you know, nobody's in the living room, but he hears a voice behind the bedroom door. Smashes open the door, says, Dad, I know you don't want to see me, but I'm here. And unfortunately, it is only Torment. And Torment's already killed his dad, and he is waiting there with an upgraded version of Shocker's vibro gloves and his whip chain thingy. And
yeah, whatever that thing is.
I mean, I like it. I just have no idea what it is.
Yeah, slice people's Achilles heels and cut off their arms.
It feels like this should be what Wonder Woman's lassos are in the Absolute universe. You know what I mean? Like, it's
a little bit, maybe,
this evil, but then like she uses it all cool. But yeah, that is where we end Death Spiral right now. I would say with the Venom issue, Andrew, what really good moments between Pete and Venom, just in service of tracking down everybody. And then of course the Carnage panel is like just incredible. We're still very much in that exposition phase, like that build up phase. So I don't think, like, not a lot's happening, but
well, now that Eddie and Carnage are face to face with Torment, I think we're gonna get this kind of like moving now. I think it's gonna pick up. Because it's a 9-parter.
12,
is that right?
Oh no, you're right. It's 9. It's not. That's weird.
9. Okay, it's a weird number, right?
Yeah. Events don't normally go for 9.
Yeah, it's super strange that that's how they're doing it, but whatever, that's how they're doing it. Because they're not making Death Spiral its own book. They're making each part of Death Spiral part of the Spider-Man
Venom
books.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think there's another one that's in it. I think it's just Spider-Man and Venom that it's crossing over.
It probably would have been Carnage if it existed still, but
if it's still one, yeah. But so yeah, it's going through that. And so yeah, we're gonna get probably what 4 parts Venom, 5 parts Spidey, I'm guessing. And it's really I think it's going to pick up here, but I'm curious to see how it pans out.
Yeah,
There were a couple of genuinely like good character moments
that's what I
in
was gonna
this
highlight.
issue and that
Yeah,
last Spidey one. Like
is that
the
like
stuff between MJ and Peter was fantastic, you know, with the Venom stuff up on
yeah,
the roof. And then now like the
Venom
meeting
versus
of
Eddie
Venom and
Carnage.
Carnage and all of like this is like I'm telling you, there's such a we
I
have
know
the ingredients here.
it's and
It's 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 waiting to just cook.
like
Just cook it.
there's not maybe specifically a definitive recipe on how to do this, but if you're a chef, you know like this is what to do, and so like
Yeah.
please, yeah, like lock it together.
Please cook.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Is
Well,
that
Al Ewing, and freaking Kelly.
and Kelly,
I,
yeah,
I need you guys to lock the hell in for this
that you
because
guys
I have
really
major
have to.
I have major event fatigue right now.
Same.
I need you to not make this suck.
And to be fair, they already sort of get a slight point from me in that yes, this is an event, but it's not every fucking thing, right? It's
Yeah,
just
it's
you
crossing
guys.
2
Like,
books. Yeah,
it's a
that's
Spider-Man
for it,
event.
too.
Cool, great. You
Yeah.
don't have to buy 900. Armageddon's coming, which is going to be another one of those stupid events, but at least this is it's contained. Kind
Mhm.
of to what you said. I'm really liking the character moments, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
good character interaction. It's just what do we do in the sense of like the action and the plot? Like that's still to come. So we'll see. I think the best way to describe it for us is that I mean, you and I are both just like not a fan of where Spidey is. We love Venom. I think you and I are like, this is good. We see the parts there, the ingredients. We're not ready to order yet until we
Yeah.
see like what you guys are actually making. Because at this
Mhm.
point, it could be a pizza or it could just be a plate of crap, like literal plate of clap. I don't know. I'm like slurring it all. I have no idea. That's how exhausted I am with this. And luckily, well, exhausted I am with events, but also in service of not slurring those words anymore and for not embarrassing myself. That's also probably the end of our show tonight, huh? We got to the end of Death Spiral. We
did. We got caught up on Abs Bats a bit.
we briefly hit that about as much as it can be hit. There's not a lot that happens in it, guys. There is.
It's just
the
a lot of
introduction
really pretty Eric Simetti art.
very much.
That's
so.
really
You
what it
You get
is.
the introduction of Ivy, a slightly cool twist to her character, where she is actually trying to help Batman and the
Mhm.
world fight Joker. She's just one of those,
But
you
like
know,
in her own kind of
crazy,
maybe
you know,
over the top psychopathic
exactly.
villainous
So,
way.
like we said earlier, absolute Snyder is doing really well with that alternate universe stuff. But then yeah, we hit that. We hit DC K.O. We talked a little Lanterns. I don't think I have anything else for comic books this week.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
I
Other
will.
than my those who pre-ordered my copy of the Rippazine number 5, the introduction of my character, Zephyr Arlen, that I created. Those started shipping
They did.
yesterday.
They
Today.
did. I got
Yesterday or
my
today, one of the two.
notification. I definitely got
Excellent.
my notification.
Yeah. So guys, make sure you let me know what you think of it. Be loud on social media that you like the character, that you like the design, that you want to see more of it. Just be loud. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
we want more Blue Shift. I mean, you guys already know I'm over here leaping for, chomping at the bit for more. I did get my notification, and I was gonna do the thing where I messaged you like, finally you but I was like, you're probably super busy with work. I'm gonna let you work this week.
Appreciate that.
The only thing before we close out, because I am still laughing about this and it's just like so insane. So last week I went, as you know, Andrew, I went to the comic book shop, not my normal comic book shop, a shop over in Tucson, Arizona, the city over from mine. And I was picking up my regular comic books. And as I'm just, wandering around the store as we do, take in the atmosphere, if you will, I saw something staring back at me. I saw an omnibus staring back at me. And it was half off. So this thing regularly 150, 75 on the shelf, out of print.
Ooh.
Out of print, does not exist anymore. I messaged
Is this
Andrew.
the one I think it is?
It absolutely is, because I
Okay,
messaged
yeah.
you, and I specifically said, I said, Andrew, I need you to talk me into something. And he just went, do it. And I went, done. And like that was the
Yeah.
like literally like that was all
That
I
was the
needed.
conversation.
That was all I needed.
That was the extent
because
of the conversation.
I was able to pick up the second Ben Reilly omnibus from Marvel for that 75.
Yeah, look
which
at that
is-
cover.
dude. I know you don't like him that much, but like this is what I mean. The classic JR art. It is like, look at this freaking like goblin. Like his goblin can get nuts.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
But I mean, obviously nowadays he's washed beyond all hell. We know that. Spider Boy does not have a web. What are we doing here? But at the very least, we got that really beautiful cover there. Hopefully, they'll reprint Volume 1 along with Absolute Carnage and a bunch of stuff I didn't realize was out of print, which is like Secret Wars is out of print. You have the movie coming out. What are you guys doing? Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's Marvel. What do we want from them? Let's see. Before we close out, Zaid says, Spencer, are you from Chicago? I saw the tat. My family is Chicago. I'm from California. So I combined the two. Got the Cali Bear with the flag in it. And yeah, I think that is all we have for this week. I hope to see more Blue Shift. I can't wait to see my copy coming in. Heads up, just a quick fun tease. You're probably going to start seeing some upgrades and expansions over here to foil variant. We've got some plans going on, so be on the lookout. But aside from that, I think, no, we won't be back next week, huh? Because you're going to be at MegaCon.
I will be at MegaCon. I will be on Orlando. So for those of you who are going out to Orlando to see those of us on the Rippaverse crew and whatever other awesome creators are going to be there throughout your pop culture, I will see you there.
And I believe you shared on your Twitter, if I can pull it up really fast,
We
the
posted
print.
a schedule. Yeah.
Well, no, the shared print, right? The speedster print. You shared
I
the final
shared
one, didn't you?
no.
Somewhere. Oh no.
Well, no, that was the we showed the teaser of the thing that myself, Von Coleman, and John Boya did.
Yeah.
So
That's the one I was talking about. Is the right? Is this the right window? Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
yeah, so that's to encourage and promote unity in the indie space, and to
I thought it was
support
going to be a print too.
support
That's okay. Never mind. I'm
support
dumb. Yeah,
indies that want to get you all your books. I would encourage that. So yeah, thank you guys for being so supportive of everything that we do here. Make sure you
wait.
subscribe to Room Requirement. If you want more Harry Potter lore videos by
Let me
myself
drop
and Mary,
that link for all of you.
and
I saw you guys have
subscribe
like
here.
exploded in followers lately. Like you have
Yeah, we
like
jumped up.
7,000 now. It's crazy.
We jumped up a little bit, yeah, recently for sure. So yeah, thank you for everybody that's been supporting those videos because I put in work on like my scripts and my recordings, but Mary and Dylan put in all the hard work with all the editing.
Yeah, they are
So
killing it.
they've got the actual hard jobs. I just get to talk.
I mean, it's
They
kind
do
of a
the
hard
actual
job.
hard work. They
Look,
do the actual
you
hard
say the
work.
same thing about this show, but we need you here to keep us like, especially like me. There's the link. Like me and Mary specifically need you to like keep our ADHD brains like on point of whatever the hell we're talking about. Like we need you here. It's a very important job. But all right,
I do
guys,
my best.
I dropped the link down there for Room of Requirement. Make sure you go check it out. Go subscribe to all me and Andrew everywhere: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I know your gaming streams are slightly coming back on Saturdays, which are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if he pops up with one of those, go check it out. Go check out his community nights on Thursday. Follow all the Rippaverse has. Hit up Orlando next week, and we'll see you, I guess, the week after that with hopefully some cool stuff to show you guys. But with that, I think if I can find the button after 2 weeks. All right, ready to go, Andrew?
Let's get on out of here.
All right, adios, everyone.
Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?